Record. Here we are with another Saturday Night Live, October the 10th, 2020, and what a year it's been.
10-10-2020.
It's been very
10,
interesting.
2020. Yeah, that's a beautiful day, isn't it?
T.A.'s
10,
Tatiana.
2020.
Okay.
That's my mom's birthday, by the way. 65th birthday.
Happy birthday to Rama's mom who passed away.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Rest in peace.
Happy birthday to her.
Thank you.
30 years ago, my goodness. Another case of big
She's
pharma,
35. Oh yeah,
medical mafia.
2 years of chemo and radio and all that.
It's very sad.
Pretty
Very
to
sad
watch.
watching people go down those routes when they
Yeah,
are in a situation that they feel they have no other alternative.
yeah.
Just through plain ignorance, you know. We've seen magic happen, you know,
Transformation.
tenfold, hundredfold, and
There's no question.
transformation. And it's just that all we need to do is trust in that soul. That's all. It's simple.
Yeah, yeah. The programming is too large that the family will not allow. You know, once you have like whatever life-threatening, whatever, some diagnosis, you know, the family will not just allow you to do what you want. You know?
Let me drink some
mean,
juice.
The family will just do what they know is best, you know, including my mom and my dad. They didn't know that. I don't think my mom, by the way, I don't think my mom knew she had cancer. I don't think my dad told her. Yeah, so she passed away she didn't confront, you know, she didn't
Fictitious
know.
name made up by Pharma Cartel.
So because he knew that emotionally she would be very traumatized, so he kept it away from her, and he handled it himself with the doctors. But he, you know, he did what he knew was best, the best doctors and this and that. My dad was a pharmacist. He's not a, you know, he has been for 30 years, he's been a businessman selling medical equipment. But before that, he was a pharmacist. And yeah, so they only know, you know, they know what they know, right? They know what they know. And the more schooling, the more the confusion.
The more work, the more deprogramming you have to do, right?
Say that again, sorry.
The more deprogramming you have to do, right?
Oh,
Sure.
Doesn't stop. It's just amazing.
we've all been heavily programmed, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's that program is always there. It doesn't go away.
It kicks in when you don't realize, and you
Why,
start.
why is it there's so few of us that are waking up?
Because they've done a good job at programming the masses.
I don't know, there's something more to it.
There's something more?
Yeah, there has to be. I don't know what it is. I knew since I was a teenager that things were screwed up. There's something wrong. I just couldn't put my finger on it.
Well, if we look at where we've come to be as a whole, as humanity on this planet, and what we've done to destroy this planet and each other, whether you believe in good and evil or whatever, the Luciferic agenda is very clear. Has had the upper hand for many years on this planet.
Millennia.
Yeah, and right now it's very clear and decisive of what they're doing. They're not shy about it anymore. They're putting it right in your faces. 666 all over the place and all this stuff.
And you know what? And we're not shy about it anymore, are we? You know,
No.
like there are some people who are standing up and they're doing
It
absolutely.
takes courage to go the other way and stand in front of like thousands of people that, you know, and you know, that's a funny thing, because when you talk to people, you can get to their heart. Like, you know, even if it's like veganism talks or whatever, like they do understand the love behind and compassion, but 5 minutes later, the program kicks in and, you know, chicken sandwich. You cannot blame the people.
It takes a lot of energy to interact in this freaking world.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh my God, it's so difficult today.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier 2 years ago because I was not as aware as I am today.
Yeah, once you become aware, it's
Oh,
wow.
really, really.
It's
I mean,
because
I'm saying that jokingly, but it's the truth.
yeah, because we're able to see what's going on much more clearly, and it has nothing to do with the laws of creation, creator, and the universe. Nothing. So we're internally battling with this thing. Why can't everybody else see this stuff?
Yeah, exactly. That's what baffles me.
Yeah, it's so clear. Like everybody knows what's right or wrong, what's correct, what's the right thing. Everybody knows. But we're driven to do the things that are always in the opposite direction as a whole of humanity.
Convenient, and the convenient is not necessarily the way to the truth, right? Most of the time.
So it's going to take an effort to do the right thing.
Yes.
Every single time, it's going to take an effort. It's going to be against the
Every
grain.
day, all day.
But
So
yeah.
if we don't make that choice now, we're going to pay the price, because there's the law of cause and effect, whether we believe it or not. The universe works on that beautiful, wonderful system for billions of years, and it will continue with or without
You know
us.
what? I feel like it's never too late.
It's never too late. Never. Even
Yeah.
Satan can turn himself in and turn into the light.
I say it's never too late. So, whatever. When people are ready, change.
Exactly.
It's
Emotions.
not, doesn't affect me. Shouldn't affect me if it does. It shouldn't affect me if it does.
I mean, we're here to have fun in the end.
We got to focus on the light more and more. Just that plasma love always flowing. Just keep that consciousness of things moving, because stagnation is where they get us.
Oh yeah.
They stagnate us. Look what they've done now. They've closed everybody. Over here, they're locking down again.
The food.
This weekend, they're telling everybody, no, don't go out for Thanksgiving. Just your immediate family. Blah blah blah. They're closed down the gyms again.
Thanksgiving, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's your Thanksgiving up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've said, only immediate family. They've closed down the gyms again, and what else? Restaurants or something.
Everything I think down.
Restaurants closed since today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, these guys are full out Luciferian warfare.
For what reasons? What was their reasoning on it?
Because the numbers are going up.
The numbers are going up.
Yeah. Yeah. Through the test.
Florida opened everything up and nothing's changed.
These tests are false.
Of course they are.
There's that.
The numbers of people getting tested, I think, is going up.
Yeah, that's all it is. The number of tests, and you're gonna have all these false positives.
A
So yeah,
test positives.
the tests are gonna go up. There was that video with Cyrus. He showed that interview with the guy who invented the PCR test, which he says this should never be used for disease and blah blah. He explains it all. And the guy died mysteriously just before this whole COVID thing happened.
Last
Of course he
summer.
did. Of course he did.
And you're just like, wow, man, you couldn't write this stuff up. So anyway, I just posted a video on my profile of Rocco Galati. He's a big constitutional lawyer up here. He's won many controversial cases against the government, and he's the one that has been hired through the vaccine choice group of people to sue our governments, which there's not even one word about it on all the news media in Canada, and it's the biggest lawsuit in Canadian history.
Wow.
Oh.
So he's got another organization that he started a while ago about your constitutional rights and stuff, and this video he goes through all the constitutional rights. Now that's playing in the legal system world. Even through that, the personhood has rights. If you listen to it, they can't force you to get vaccinated. They can't force any medical procedures. They can't force test sign. Well, it's all there. He spells it out very, very clearly. But when you go to common law, which is the law of the land, which is our inalienable God-given rights, we move into a higher order, and we don't have to worry about their garbage because their garbage will only affects us if we accept it. You have to have there has to be an agreement. There has to be a contract. Silence is tacit consent in legal terms. So remember that if you stay silent, you've agreed and accepted their conditions and blah, 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 terms and conditions. So you must speak up. You must speak up. And, be conscious that, in the law of creation, there's man and woman. In the law of fiction, there's man, woman, lesbian, gay, trisexual, transsexual. This is how they entrapped humanity. This is how they entrap. And I don't have anything against all that, but this is the facade that they entrap people into the fiction world. And if you understand the legal fiction world, if you look in the history of slaves always had benefits, privileges. They didn't have rights. They had benefits and privileges. Now, what does the government give? If you look at, they have benefits, they have privileges, and so on and so forth. Like driving's not a right, it's a privilege. And all this crap. No. This is how they entrap us through that personhood, through the fictitious contracts that they create, through our birth certificates and blah, 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 blah. And we have to really come to the understanding of who we really are. We are beings of light. We are limitless. We come through sources of abundance, and we are abundance. And nothing can stand in our way when we're working in peace, balance, and correct conduct. The only time another man or woman can claim anything against you is when you what? You harm them in any way, shape, or form, or their property in any way, shape, or form. That's it. So if you're living in peace, balance, and correct conduct, you never have to worry about any of that stuff, right? And that's the driving force of working in the light with the divine by your side. And that's why
you're untouchable.
Yep, that's all we talk about in Master Fast, peace, balance, correct kind. I've been pushing it more and more and more in the last year or so. And you see people just scramming from that. They can't handle that. The mirrors of truth. They come up, they face
right in your face.
And they're gone. They can't handle that. So there's nothing that's changed in the last 30 years. I'm not saying I'm anywhere near perfect, but at least we're here to openly discuss and talk about it and support each other on this, because out there's nothing in line with this stuff. It's absolutely opposite, and it's sad, but where are we going to go if we don't stick up for, the light? We got to have those candles going. Master fasting, we all know, we've all experienced what state we get into when we're in that realm, and removing that matter state, which affects us all. This whole matter state thing, the more we go through these experiences of master fasting, the more you come to the light and say, and to see that everything that's involved in matter is a step away from the divine light. Basically, it's a step away. The more we focus in matter and material and the riches and this and that and ownership, is we move away from the light. And
it's not bad.
Eating is all part of that, right? The whole thing of eating, going through, whether it's animals, whether it's plants, or whether it's all life forms. They're all life forms that we choose to interfere with through their physical experience. We're interfering when we choose to eat these things. Everything is energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So you know, by us interfering with different life forms, is that an inalienable right that the divine gave us? That's only you can answer that question. I know the answer for myself.
That's a tough question.
Exactly.
That's
You
a
know,
tough
You
question.
know, people, oh, they gave us the animals, you know, to eat.
Yeah.
Really? Show me the contract.
You know, I mean, you don't have to too much, you know, question too many things, you know, but
Did he give us
you know.
plants to eat? Show me the contract. You know, this is a big question.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can eat
their
whatever
purpose?
you want in the end.
Yeah. You don't have to have any contracts, you know. You know, no need for contracts.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
Show-
I mean, you're not gonna, God is not gonna give you a contract about peace, balance, and correct conduct. You know, you will feel it, you will know it on your
it's
own.
the contract is not written. It's imprinted
But
in the soul.
Even in the animal kingdom, you still have the, what's the term? The top of the food chain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, the way I look at the animal kingdom is it's a reflection of humanity's emotion.
Well, I can accept that, but what about prior to humans being here?
Well, what absolute
How do you
evidence
know?
do we
How do you
have
know?
what happened before humans were on this
evolution.
planet?
Well, they have some, I don't
Science.
know.
You don't it's all
Yeah,
questionable.
it could be,
really.
yeah, no, that's, I can't argue that. I can't argue that.
Yeah,
Could
because
be.
it's, what we have is scientific physical evidence. You know, we don't really have. I mean, it doesn't mean, you know, you have a physical evidence, but really, how does it give you the full picture? It doesn't necessarily give you the full picture. You know.
Let's say the dinosaurs were here before humans were on this planet. They were eating each other. Now, if there's no time space and everything is the way it is, wouldn't man's emotion also be involved in the outplay of what's happening, even though we haven't already been manifested in material plane in this planet? I don't know. It's these are things that we really can't answer. We can have all the science doing all these dating things and so on and so forth.
And maybe we learn from the animals.
I know Greg Braden.
You know, like, it doesn't make.
Greg Braden,
At the end of the day, you know, there's an imbalance. We know that much, and there's light and balance, and we want to move towards the balance, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's no use, I mean, to question it, because like the lifespan we have is not even enough to really practice and master that ability to go inside, you know, like have that ability like to go wherever in the spheres, memories of the universe, and go search. Like even for simple stuff, you need so much practice and concentration just to remind yourself, you know, of, oh, you know, like, let's be correct with each other.
Yeah,
You need so many years. So even for that kind of thing, like, you know, it doesn't matter in the end. It's like trauma, right? Like when you're uncovering trauma in your body, it doesn't matter what it is, right? The thing that matters, the how, like you're releasing and you're focused on where you're going. I mean, it's nice to know, right? But we don't have time right now. There's so much, you know?
So much, absolutely.
We got all the time of existence.
No, but I mean, like with that, like, for example, you know, like in this period of Earth right now, like how things are, like, you know, the stepping we need to do, like it needs so much trust and faith, right? So even if we're going slow with MFS, I mean, it's still like light speed. Like if you compare to many other things or what you used to do in the past, like even, you know, when you do like this master fasting thing, like, I don't know, man, it's a whole other level of living.
It is very different, yeah.
It's interesting. Going back about saying that Greg Braden mentions, I think that humanity was here 100,000 years. That's it, something like that. I think it was, and it's a long time. It's a long time, but
they say even millions. Like, you know, they have like stories of millions, and even like people living in Mars. You know, it's Depends what you read, right? Like about the continents, Lemuria and
Yeah,
Atlantis and all
yeah.
that.
And you're right. Like, how does it serve us to know anything like that?
I mean, it's nice to know, like it's fun, but
It is fun to imagine, yeah, sure, whatever, or find out the truth about that. But like, we're so busy, you know, like when we have time, you want to take it to go in, you know, to go within, so you can do what you really want to do, you know. To know so much about your history and where you come from, who cares, right? I mean, even our like recent history,
Curiosity.
keep saying, you know, huh?
Curiosity.
Yeah, curiosity for sure.
We're curious beings for sure.
Yeah, it's like science, you know.
Like-
That spirals out. I mean, if you ask too many questions, what's the
I
use?
love science all my life.
I always loved science, you know. I always loved science too, and that's why I studied science.
I couldn't stand it.
But you can see with science how they're like asking so many questions that are really not their business, and they're applying it on humans too.
Oh, yeah. I
You know what
agree.
I'm saying? Yeah, like.
I don't
why
love
do you even
science as
need to
much
know
anymore as I
that?
did as a kid. I loved it as a kid, but
Yeah, like when you buy, like, why do you have
I
to
find out everything's freaking horse shit everywhere else. That probably is too.
like, why do you have to study for 5 years and end up not being healthy after 5 years, not able to help yourself? Okay, just to help yourself, you can't even help yourself, and let alone helping other people. So why are you studying? You know, like, what's the use? You know,
No, I don't.
it's
There's
a
not
big
much use
waste
in
of
it anymore.
everything.
You got to keep the machine turning.
But yeah, curiosity is nice, and experimenting is fun and nice for sure. Yeah. So science is not bad. It's just
it will always be limited, like to the perspective we have. Like, you know, the deeper you go into the heart, like, you know, this knowledge already comes, because if you come from the heart, you know, it starts at the base. Like, you need that foundation, then it hits the heart, and then it hits, like, you know, the brain as such. But if you only focus on the brain, all right, it's nice, but like, if you're not unlocking that power that comes from below, you know, that thing of, you know, love and acceptance, you won't get real science. Because I think in the end, you know, I think we can all agree on that, is that science and technology is here to help us develop. You know, if you start to come out with like technology that destroys each other, you won't reach another level. And that's how you see, like, you know, we're stuck right now. We got the internet and that's it. And 50 years ago, like, you see movies, people were thinking we're going to be like so evolved, but no, like, it stopped, you know, it stopped progressing in some way, because like, we're not ready yet with the correct understanding. Like, you see, I mean, what would happen if we would go out of our solar system and go meet other planets? No, man, that would be horrible for other civilizations. So we won't get that knowledge until, like, I think we make that step of like just uniting the whole planet and be at peace, you know.
My understanding, the universal community will not allow humanity to go out of this planet until we've come to peace.
Right, yeah.
And do you think
so much sense.
do you think humanity is the worst out there?
Yeah.
Come on. How do you know?
I think it's at the bottom of the scale with so many other like planets as well, right?
Be optimistic.
We
Well, we have
We're
potential.
not that bad.
have potential.
We have a potential for both.
We have potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe we are the most challenged because we have potential for both, whereas maybe other civilizations, some were very bad or very good, whereas for us we're confused.
No, but I think we're at the bottom. Like, you see, like, the raping around and everything. I mean, what can be even worse than that?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, child abuse, sacrifice. There's nothing.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
There's nothing below that.
There's nothing below that, really.
So, where are we gone, man? I don't know.
I mean, what's the worst, honestly, you can do in your life? Like, for me, it's suicide. That's the worst thing.
Oh, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think
Because,
that's a
like,
very viable option.
But I think, like, you know, you came here to learn something. So if you're
Yeah.
committing suicide, I mean, you're just telling yourself that you're postponing again, but also like, I mean, you came for this. You came for this experience.
I think it's suicide too.
Well, if you follow that train of thought out and somebody decides to leave, maybe that's what they came to do.
No.
Not to learn.
Oh, why
No,
not?
everything.
Why not?
Yeah.
What was the learning? What's the learning in that? I mean, like, if that's the question, like for me, like, I believe we're here to learn something and express, but what's the
But
point?
what
of
if that
expressing?
being has learned all there was to learn for that being?
We don't know that answer.
No, exactly. So I mean, you can't just dismiss anything.
The thing is that people are doing this trying to escape from themselves, and they can't. Even just they get rid of their physical body, they're still going to be
Exactly, in
themselves.
the end, right?
I honestly, yeah, I
I
don't know, but
remember
I see.
one man put it, you know, people think that, you know, if you're nasty here and then you commit suicide, they think that you're going to turn into an angel as a spirit without a body. You're going to be the same person, same being.
I know,
So,
and
put the effort now to be you know, live and be found.
I'm just saying, don't dismiss it. That's all.
Oh, no, for sure. Like, you know, you have to face the issue that it is,
don't
you know,
know.
having suicidal thoughts.
I don't know how it is.
I know one thing, I do not want to bring, how do I, what I'm dealing with, I don't want to bring into the next phase. Before I go, I want it settled here.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's look at the other. Let's look at what humans are doing to themselves, which is slow suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's different
Oh,
from
I was
fast
there.
suicide, okay?
What's the difference?
The difference?
Yeah, between fast and slow suicide. What's the difference?
No, like, you know, like, you're making the choice.
What's the difference?
You can't
No, there's a
huge
huge difference.
Okay,
Huge
explain it
difference.
to me.
You have to find the balance, you know, you
Like-
cannot see it.
Like, first of all the suicide stories, like most of the people that try to suicide themselves, they never do it in the first attempt, because, you know, it's not going to be like an easy task, like to first of all to suicide yourself. Like, it's after many attempts that people finally they get to suicide, like, you know, because like, we're protected in so many ways. I mean, it's amazing. Like, when you hear people's stories of things they've done, you know, but apart from that, like, when you question everything, and you, like, really with curiosity, like when we're talking about that with science, but, like, you know, no limits, no beliefs, and you just question things, like, why would you even suicide? I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make
I was
sense.
on that path for 28 years, slow suicide.
Yeah.
But it's not the same thing, and it's kind of
Oh, really?
unconscious, you know, like
Explain why it's
when,
not the same.
Why isn't that? Why isn't that? the same?
because it's kind of unconscious.
The outcome
Like, when
was going
people
to be exactly the
suicide,
same. Had I continued, I probably would not have made the next birthday. I was that far gone.
Yeah, one is
So
unconscious.
what's the difference? Whether it's an event or it's a process.
yeah, but see, the event, like, you make
Yeah.
that conscious choice of jumping off the bridge, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
but
it's like
And I made
masterclass.
the conscious choice till I was unable to make the conscious choice. See?
You see, what I see here is like different extremes, you know, extreme. You can't look at life as an extreme. Life is about finding balance. Sure, we can fall off and this and that, and
That's where my life was. It makes no difference whether what it was supposed to be. That's what it was. The reality is what it was.
yeah.
At least you were trying, right? So you
No, I
didn't give
wasn't.
up.
I was absolutely not trying. The consequences got too great. That was the thing.
But you still, I mean, you didn't make the choice of suiciding. You chose, like, the path of healing, and you know what? Like, let's deal with it.
What about the thousands and hundreds of thousands others that did not?
Well, they didn't make that choice, you know, and still it's a learning. I mean, like, maybe, you know, in other lives, like, who knows, maybe we committed suicide, but
well, you know, one is conscious, one is unconscious. Now, are we responsible for our unconscious
Yeah.
things?
Good question.
what was the question
We're
again?
responsible for our response to it.
Tell him again.
I said one is conscious, like a quick suicide, you consciously kill yourself. The other one, the slow suicides, a lot of them are unconscious. You know, we're being driven to do things that we would normally not do if we were conscious about it, right?
Like,
So what's
yeah.
the,
Yeah, I'll tell you something.
are we responsible for the unconscious?
You can't expect perfection, okay, out of humans.
Who's saying perfection?
So when people do mistakes and unconsciously choose bad things, okay, that they know are bad, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. If
they still feel good about it when they do it, right? That's the thing. That's why they keep on doing this. Like we have these unconscious habits because we think, you know, we feel good, or we, like, you know, we're living that illusion.
There's lots
which is a big difference when you drop just everything and you're like, no, fuck that shit, I'm out, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can't compare the two.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's like there's a big step and a big difference.
Yeah, I don't know how it is, and you guys grew up with Christianity, right? Most of you. In Islam, it's a very big sin. It's maybe the biggest sin is to commit suicide. And for, you know, and it was always on my mind because I was, you know, like I was into praying and you know, some things like that are big. Always, you know, I question, you know. I questioned, and then of course, like my way of looking at it is the same way as you, Marvin. With time, you know, as you grow up and experience life, I felt the same way. You know, there is a, like when you commit suicide, you don't want to handle it, and you don't know what's gonna come next. You're taking a big risk. Whereas, okay, when you do small mistakes, you kind of, you know, you have to pay for them slowly. But when you just commit suicide, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going. You know, like in the religions, you know, that we grew up learning, I believe it's all straight to hell. You know, whatever it is, whatever that means. If it means flames, whatever, it doesn't matter what it means. But it's a bad place. And really, when you think about it, thank God that you're still alive. Thank God that you're having these opportunities to still dance and make mistakes.
I mean, I think you feel loved, like, you know, whenever you die, like you feel loved, you feel like your soul. So if you
what about all these folks that have been committing suicide over the last 6 months?
That have suicided?
That have been driven to it. The man that can't feed his children anymore.
Okay, you know, you see, people cannot make excuses like that. This is very irresponsible, in my opinion. Very irresponsible. They lost faith. They lost faith in God, and they gave up on everything. We cannot do that.
That's what happens. There's no spirit.
Yeah, like, come on, that's, I mean, like,
that's an excuse.
It's in their eyes, it's their reality, because that's all they know, and they've chosen to not you know, focus on the spiritual life. That's their choice. But you know, through the ignorance, are we responsible? Like, let's say, you know, somebody is going to a doctor to get treated, blah blah, through all these drugs and everything, and through their ignorance, you know, they end up dying and so on and so forth from all the drugs that poison them and so on. Are they responsible for that, or is the doctors giving these things to the person responsible, or are they both responsible?
I don't think neither of them are responsible in that way, because
the society we chose to endure is the most responsible.
But we are the society, each one of us, right?
Yeah.
No, we're choosing a different path.
It's like saying, you know what, because I don't have enough money, I'm gonna have bad credit. You know, that is very irresponsible. Go do whatever the heck you have to do to pay your debts. Simple. You know, seriously, this is how I like, you've got to be responsible. Okay, all of us have ups and downs, and sometimes we're irresponsible. And we have to, you know, it's important that we take charge of being responsible and admit, okay, I have done this mistake, and now I want to fix my life. But to repeat the same thing over and over, I don't know. I mean, we can make excuses for bad behavior. You know, that's not peace, balance, and correct conduct. It's okay to make mistakes.
No, but again, it's the reality of the society we're living in. It is the reality.
Nobody will come between me and God. I don't care. You can kill me right now, and you're not gonna come between me and God. It's that simple. Because of that truth, nobody can harm me.
Over the course of the last 100 years here in the United States, they have driven God out of the public consciousness.
Yeah.
That was a very well planned out.
But did they ever know God? Like, you know, so many, like many religious people.
Those people are weak.
Yeah, like most people, like, you know, the.
Oh, no, see, now you're simplifying things a little bit. What about the people that are born under communism? And that's all they know. That's all they've ever been exposed to, so it's all they know.
It's okay. God put them through that journey. They have to experience something else than we have.
Okay, so how about the man that decides to commit suicide? That's his journey.
Yeah. You know, God planned it. There's no question about it. Now, is it a path? It is an irresponsible choice.
Oh, only because you're choosing to look at it as irresponsible.
Because it's the truth.
I think, you know,
that's your truth, though. That's not
See,
the one.
Truth,
That's not his
the
truth.
truth is not controversial. Mistakes and doing wrong is not. I mean, peace, balance, and correct conduct. That's not controversial. You know? So it's okay to do mistakes, and everybody's gonna be paying for them. Now, is it a right choice?
See, we can take it another step now. Committing suicide versus murdering somebody. Okay, that's supposed to be their experience too. How is that in the eyes of higher order? This is,
because it involves other lives.
you know what I mean? Like it's.
Oh, I know.
These are things that we can go on and on and on.
Two very philosophical issues here.
well, I mean, it depends on the intention, right? I mean, if you kill someone, like we all know, like, you know, it's like people that lived all right, like, you know, very intense childhoods, you know, very traumatic. But still, like, you know, like when we say we have God inside of us, we all have that mechanism telling us when, you know, we all have this intuition, even though it may be more off in some people than in others, you know, we all have like the same consciousness. That's why, you know, like it's not in like in movies where people can just keep on killing people and just feel like, oh, no, well, I mean, I'm a sociopath. No, that doesn't work like that. That doesn't work like that. You kill someone, your consciousness will haunt you for the rest of your life. And that is a reality for everyone. There's no like someone that's just.
How do you explain the Hitlers of the world?
That's different, right? That's also a whole setting. That's not Hitler. That's not just. No, but that's not just Hitler. That's a whole thing, you know, that's the whole of Europe.
That was their whole society, correct?
Yeah, right? So everybody made the choice. Hitler was just like, I don't know, a focus point.
Pol Pot or Mao. His history is full.
Where's that?
Mhm.
Who did you say?
Mao, Pol Pot, Mao, all the great tyrants of the world.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Mao. Yeah.
Look at my own government, what they've done.
Yeah, it's even worse than Hitler if you compare in statistics, right? So, I mean,
Without a doubt.
All the wars.
Continual. You realize that Trump is the only president that has not started a war? In how many?
That's
You
incredible.
gotta go back to what? You gotta go back to Kennedy was still Vietnam going on.
yeah, he has the biggest mouth, but he has not started a war.
He has the biggest heart, probably. You know, maybe. You know, I actually like him. I don't know. I like him because I feel sure he's not perfect. He knows.
Yeah, he's fun. Like it's not black and white, you know. But
Yeah.
like at least you can tell he's trying. you know?
And he's done really, like,
Wow.
to stop supporting the World Health Organization. That one I have never heard before about, you know, anyone, any politician doing that. So it's really nice to see someone stand against corruption, you know.
Yeah, but like he's also corrupted. Like, you know, there's a saying, I don't remember the person that said that, but there's nothing more dangerous than an idiot with initiative. And in many things, Trump is just an idiot as well. Like, you know, he has more heart. And, you know, I mean, like, you know, all presidents, you know, they're still humans. Like, you know, they have hearts. But, like, honestly, he's done so many things that I've just...
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if we're going to talk politics, like, it's of
Really?
course
He's
not
the
black
only
and white.
president that has not taken us to war, and how many? You think he's an idiot?
Yeah, so you're saying he has more heart, Marvin, than the other ones?
No, not really. Like, not really. I mean, like,
I'm not defending the man.
no, like, you know, I'm not attacking, either defending,
No,
because
I'm saying you're saying Marvin, he
You
has more
think you
heart.
can stand up to the
no.
withering assault that this man has taken for 6 years? Every single day, every single minute of every single day for 6 years.
I mean, like, he deserves it. I mean, the kind of attention that he wants. I mean, he deserves every single thing that is happening to him. Like, all of us, we do. Like, you know. But do I think that there's definitely someone better? I mean, like, come on. Like, that's not even a question. That's not even a question. All these presidents.
We're not focusing on any political stuff, but we're just saying that this is the only guy that has not started any wars. That's it. We don't.
No, that's true. But
That's huge. After how many hundreds of years?
I don't know.
that's like official.
Of the country, pretty much.
That's like in official terms, but I mean, the killing is still ongoing. Like in like, maybe it's not like the war of the U.S.
Yeah, you got one man and he is isolated. You got one man against a machine, a Leviathan. When they talk deep state, they aren't talking individuals. This is so far, so deep.
Worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, you know, for me, like, you know,
all governments are in collusion with each other, whether outwardly they're you know, they're enemies like China, U.S., Russia, U.S. There's still tremendous amount of collusion. There has to be. They would not be able to achieve what they've achieved. It's a cabal, and the well, look what they're doing here. I can't speak for other countries, but look what they've done here. Everything that they've done, especially with these Black Lives Matters, and now with all these, you know, these essential workers and all this bullshit, all it is a tool to drive division. Every single thing that every sign out there is to drive that stake of division into the populace, because a divided population cannot stand up against the darkness.
But I think, you know, that like that. I don't think like there's something a big plan ongoing. I think it's literally like people just are so unconscious, and like you see who are the persons at the top, you know. Eventually, that's what.
There is a global plan in place.
But like, it was supposed to happen the state we're living in, because, like, you know, we're driven by money. Like, we shouldn't be living in a system being driven out of money. So of course you will have the most corrupt people standing at the top in the end with that kind of system. That's inevitable.
Yeah,
that's inevitable. So right now, like, you know, people, they do these kind of things just for their own interest. So I don't think, you know, it's really more like about division. I think it's just about money, the money trail all the time.
It's the only way they can stay in power.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about power, you know. Then all these, you know, of course, like the cabal and thing, you know, I've read about, like, you know, that there are many things that, yeah, are true, but, you know, then it becomes very far-fetched, and it really starts becoming, you know, like people.
Conspiracy theories are no longer theories.
No, but like I mean, like it starts becoming instead of looking at a real issue, it starts becoming people pointing fingers and not wanting to take
All part of their
responsibility.
plan, Marvin, all part of their game.
Yeah, but I mean the same people that call out theories because it's a mess everywhere. Even like in these conspiracy theories, like there's a part that is true and then like it gets exaggerated.
Like you said, Marvin, I think a lot of things that are being said probably are true, and they have happened because of the money, uh, our monetary system, right? And the pyramid, how some people are on top when they shouldn't be on top. Who put them on top? We're just, we're born and we're living here with these people, generation after generation after generation being on top. Nobody chose them. We didn't choose them, right?
I think we did. I think we did.
Yeah, but these are like, like it's the politicians have. Yeah, I know by choosing what we're doing every single day, we're choosing them for sure. You're right. So
They're just puppets. They're just puppets on the stage.
yeah, so yeah. So these people on the top of the pyramid, I believe many of them are, like generations. It's the bloodline as well. It's not only the money. The money and the bloodline are kind of, together.
Money.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
They print
it's
as much as
together,
they want, the
like,
money.
I mean, some of the wealthier people,
It's the
born
bloodlines.
and raised wealthy, and they keep going, like
Bloodlines go back.
and
That
how
money's
smart,
not even wealth to these people.
and how smart are they when you're born and raised wealthy and controlling, having so much control in your hands? How, like, you're not going to be that smart. You're not challenged.
No, exactly.
Not
Primitive.
Been hanging on to it for 400 or 500 years.
Thousands.
Yeah.
We're expecting these people
Beyond, if you want to go beyond the use of money, yeah.
and we're expecting these people to do a good job. It's stupid of us to expect that.
The bloodlines go way back.
Yeah, they do.
My grandma said a very interesting thing. She said that the people deserve the politician that they get.
Yeah.
Like they've, like the the internal state, like that's why we have those puppets.
Yep.
No, I completely agree, right? Like honestly,
Yeah,
Trump
We only have to
represents
look at
a lot of
ourselves. Yeah,
Americans.
there are those
Party,
bloodlines.
but it doesn't matter which party's in because it's the
All the same.
flip side of the same coin.
But I mean that power structure that is oppressing us, that is using the monetary system to control. We only
We've
have to
allowed
look within to see why we have that.
Yeah, I think it's true for sure.
She said it very wise. She was staying out of it. She's saying that people get what they deserve.
Good for her. Are you close to her? Do you see her often?
Oh, she is in Belarus,
Mhm.
but I call her a lot.
Oh,
How is it over there?
Yeah, and it's a lot of turmoil there. So
Very much so.
yeah,
Is
not
she safe?
start talking about those politics, but
mhm.
that's what she said, and I think there's a lot of truth to that.
So there's a lot of conflict now over there.
A
Very
lot
much
of
so.
conflict there, a lot, yeah, violence. And all.
Driven by who?
Mm.
Yeah, Fluff is
My government.
Nah, I think it's global, really. Like
yeah, you're right. It's
World.
all connected. So
Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, right?
yeah,
Or it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, well, in any case, I think especially talking politics, like I think we should never forget that it's never black and white. Like never. It just gets so complicated. As you said, like Steve, like once you go into that deep state stuff, oh my God, man, holy crap!
It's the basics is divide and conquer to
Yeah.
keep rule over the people. It's that simple. It's the easiest way for them to move ahead with their agenda.
And look at us. We believe what they're like.
People are frightened shitless. They're with their masks.
I mean, okay, that mask is one thing,
It
but
turned into a freaking fashion thing. That blew my mind. I should have saw that one coming. I didn't, but now it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The masks just make it very visible now. That I would have never believed it was at the scale, the zombiness of,
You see, I
of
mean,
us.
I see more, you know, the conflict is much more than the mask, you know. And it happened like so long ago, not now. The conflict with,
The
I
mask
would
is the
say,
mirror.
I would say the conflict of religions, making religions the, you know, the yeah, separation, you know, separate us, you know. Religions should not separate us. People have been from different religions have been living together with no problems, okay? But you have a few politicians or whoever, okay, some bad people in the society as well, but the majority are politicians who have power, and they spread wrong words about the other people. When you have neighbors from different religions living next to each other and both practicing their own religion and are in peace and harmony with each other.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
like,
It's
I
always the
just-
Same thing with race. That they've been doing this race baiting down here for how many years now?
Yeah.
Yet you come down to my level where I operate, and that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
then,
making
you know,
race, it's another form of division.
yeah, absolutely. And then people fall into that nonsense
Yeah.
and start hating each other and start killing each other in the name of God. Another thing is
Color.
color. I was just gonna say the color. That people who are like black color, so you start having, you know, like the programming comes right away when you're fed into that programming. You know, you see a black person and you're fed that programming.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just the whole thing.
It's a program.
And
If you look at
know-
children, they'll play with anybody. It doesn't matter. They don't see the color.
And you know,
Yeah.
inside your heart, yeah,
They don't.
Again, it was, you know, it's a product of the upbringing of the environment that these people were born into. It's all
Yeah.
they knew. The people in the South, that's all they knew.
Yeah.
They were born racist. They were not born, but they were raised
Programmed.
in a racist
Program.
society.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
It was so clear to me, working with kids. I was like, this community, like our art center, running programs, and it doesn't matter. The kids, they love everyone, and it reminds me that's our true nature. You know, they really, they don't care. I don't know what color, what they're wearing. They so open, like everything is, you know,
Pure.
everyone is like, they feel, I think they see people as, you know, a spirit. Still, they still remember, and then we only have to look at them to remember that that's our true nature.
yeah,
I mean, I remember, you know, when I started turning 10, I got that programming a bit from my dad. Like, he used to mock, like, you know, people with handicap and, like, you know, different things, even Arabs. So already by 10, you know, like, that programming started kicking in, you know. And during my teens, you know, I was experiencing even, like, you can joke, like, between family members about, like, you know, Arabs and like, you know, wearing their outfits, and even like black people in general, right? Like, also when you see all these stories, how they were depicting and illustrating black people before, I mean, all of that. And I mean, the programming was very real. That was crazy. And it just hits you. Like, I think I remember starting 10, and then thankfully, you know, when you hit puberty at 14, you start questioning things. And it's not really you hit puberty and like, oh, that's puberty. No, like, I think you get a chance to maybe like start considering, like, what the hell am I getting taught, right? Because
yeah. It's you are definitely blessed, Marvin, to live in different countries from a young age. That
Yeah.
really helps when you live in different countries, not just
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's yeah, that is true. I think that helps a bit. Like, you know, the movement. It's all about movement, right? The movement is true. When you're a kid, you don't value that, and you think, oh, I'm losing friends. But then it's true. That made me realize, you know, like, well, I mean, you're racist. I mean, like, as a kid, I think that anyone as an adult nowadays that has been like living, especially in the West, well, not even Western, but like this civil, what we call the civilized world, has like prejudice, racist prejudices. We all have, you know, there's no way of not having them if you have not recognized them yet and worked upon them.
Mm.
I think
I
that
mean, you just see it in the movies, right? Like how they picture Arabs and even jokes, right? Even the things called vines, you know?
It's just to sow division. That's all it is, just to keep the division. The
the media
populated society cannot stand.
Yeah, but like the ones that brought me that programming was not so much society, was like, I mean, society, for example, was my father, was some friends, was different things, because in the moment, like, you know,
No, it was
this,
the powers that be that do this.
yeah, but like this
Not
division and
society.
conquer, you know, it seems fun, like firsthand, like, you know, like you're making fun of the, you know, like, oh, that person like of
Yeah.
colors because he may have like a crushed nose, like, you know, for example, uh, you know, the eye is different. It seems like, you know, fun in the moment, like something innocent, which is not actually, you know, I mean, like it can be fun, everything is fun in some way, but then when it starts being corrupt, like you start, like, you know, there's that little difference between, you know, having fun and, you know, being humorous and really mocking someone, right? Which is based on insecurity, but
100%.
well.
Absolutely.
It's always goes back to the design, the program to divide. It's, you know, it doesn't matter.
You know, I mean,
what we bring
yeah.
up.
Um, you know, it's not just, of course, it's not just the society that will impose this like programming. It's also the home, inside the home, the gossiping, the again the racism. Um, you know, like treating people unequally. You know, like you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong, but when you're programmed, you kind of trapped.
Yeah,
Especially,
you don't know it's wrong if you don't know any different.
yeah,
If this is what you're born into,
yeah,
you
for
are
sure.
real. You know no different.
Yeah,
it helps, yeah, moving around, because you're taking out of one culture and put in another. That helps to deprogram. I've also like been to a bunch of different programs, and that makes you question a lot of
Yeah, exactly, that's
everything.
true.
It
yeah,
helps you do the deprogramming in your mind.
for sure. Immigration does for sure have to
Yes.
humble you because you will be a minority wherever you go. You have to fit in. You whether it's the language or anything, the culture, you know, in general. So you will be a minority wherever you go until you fit in, and maybe then you will really integrate. No,
And
seriously.
maybe you
I would
become
never fit in.
It's really interesting. Immigration is cool. It's traumatizing in so many ways, but
yeah, but I think, you know, it's necessary, these kind of things that we're like, you know, divide and conquer. I mean, you know, we're like playing a game that makes us see like where we want to be headed, right? What would be happiness without grief and all these kind of things, you know, like we kind of need that divide and conquer thing, you know, these wars in some way, otherwise they wouldn't be here, right? So it's all part
yeah,
of the
for sure.
game.
We are
If you see the big picture, right, it's not pleasant, but
the
like
majority of
suffering.
us. The
Well,
majority.
most wars are over resources. They're not ideological, and most are resource driven.
What are resources?
Resources.
Oil.
Oh, oil, yeah, yeah.
Wars. Wars.
That's how
Yeah.
World War I was started, right? It was over oil.
Yeah.
Our own Civil War here, that was what were they perceived was a resource, and that was the black slaves. So that was a resource to the South,
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was. It was.
Actually, it wasn't driven much by slavery, the war. It was more about states' rights. If you really look at what happened here.
Slavery's always been around.
Yes.
Blacks with white slaves and whites with blacks. It's always been around.
Color was
And
a
it
big
still
one.
is around.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking about it. That
That's
Yeah,
what we
like,
should know, right?
and you feel it like as well, like, you know, that lust for power, like, you know, even for me, like, for example, I have pets, I have pets, but sometimes like you feel that when you like you're like, you know, pets, like for example dogs, they need to behave in some way, they're not free. But like, you know, I remember having, you know, like pleasure when you tell your dog like to do something or not do something, and that he follows that order, you know, and that's corruption right there, like, you know, just having, no, but right, like having that sense of it's not fulfillment, like true fulfillment, but like you get fulfilled because you're like, you told him to sit and he sat down, that's a good boy, you know. But like you see how it starts, right?
imposing our will on others.
Yeah, exactly, imposing our will on others, and then it evolves, then it's on another human, on our children, on everything, you know, having that power.
But
It's crazy.
yeah, like my uncle said to me once that power is the most like powerful and extreme drug. Like as soon you have a little bit of it, you want more of it, and you more and more. He said it's the most dangerous drug.
Never satiate.
Yeah. But you know, even with Master Fast, I mean, like you do get power. That's why many people, and you know, it's a blessing for many people to, like, you know, this system is like no other. But when you go really deep within, like with this also spiritual work or whatever, like you start uncovering the laws of nature, and you get powers and keys because you know how things, you know, work. Like, you know, my power to influence people is much stronger than before. Like, you know, like you can make people do certain things even though they don't want to, because they really don't have that much control over themselves, and you can like override that control. You get that power. But what happens if like you break this fundamental law of freedom of choice? And you know, you get that power that comes with responsibility as well. So
Yeah,
you know,
it's a
Yeah, for
it's
sure. You have to be careful.
very challenging situation, just like sharing this information. Here it is. Here
exactly,
we are.
right?
MFS is here when you're ready. I'm not. You can't force anybody to do it. You know, this is not the only way. Whatever. And it's here. This is what happened. What I did it, and many others did. If you want to join us, follow this so you're safe. It's prudent, and we'll see what happens where it takes you. But to try and, you know, tell everybody, you know,
Oh,
People have to be ready.
No, it's useless. It's waste of energy.
it just
Yeah, that's very good point. Yeah.
very much so. Very draining.
Yeah.
it's
Like people can accept kind of like what they're ready to accept.
Yeah.
Little like seeds
Yeah.
or something.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is good, you know. It's like having $1
Or like
million.
what they want, yeah, what they want to accept.
Like you know, it's like getting $1 million. You know, I would never want to receive right now like $1 million. No, but like really, I'm not ready for it. Like,
I'll take it. Don't worry.
Marvin,
There's lots we can do.
be careful what you wish for.
no. But what I'm saying is right now, like, I mean, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, because of my plans, I know abundance will come for the projects I want to do. But like, for example, like you see, last year I did things like managing money and having debts. Like, man, I don't know. Like, come on. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like how I got lost and starting having debts and, you know, counting on money I was supposed to get and I didn't. And well, and all of these are lessons, but now when I consider myself, like I'm glad, I don't have a lot of money. I mean, I'm getting it, like, don't know that I don't wish that, even though it's not my aim. Abundance will come when you do your passion anyways, but you realize like some kinds of powers, like people that get rich overnight, it can destroy their lives, they don't know what to do
Yeah,
with.
yeah. Yeah, and that's
You've seen that, right? With your dad. Like, I mean, not that same scenario, but seen money. You mentioned that in your story.
Yeah, I mean, it can destroy like that way, like it's power, So
yeah. I mean, things will happen when at the right time, and if you feel money is, someone has money and not they're not using it properly. That's a lesson for them, right?
exactly,
But
that's a big
even
lesson
if it
for them.
happens, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean be careful what you wish for. I just meant you're right. You're absolutely right. Things will happen to us when we are ready. Even the money, everything will happen to us in abundance and whatever when we are ready. Because we can't. Our higher self, God knows. We don't know.
Exactly.
When we
There's
don't know
nothing to hide.
we don't know when we're ready to receive things or to to change, or I don't know.
And you can tell, like, to really feel that to really have that feeling of you're not ready, the times, I've tried meditating, and go deep within, and you start feeling these deepened states of energy and things, happening basically, like, it's very hard to describe because the senses, they merge and many things, but what's always the same thing that kept me away from these states, it was the fear. I was having fear, like in the moment of just trusting, right? Just trusting the process. I mean, but no, I would get fear, right? And fear is ignorance. I mean, if you have fear in your life, you will cause mayhem around you.
Yeah, what's ignorance? Lack of the experience, right? So once you have the experience, oh, wait a minute, it's not that big. What was I scared about? Blah blah blah. It goes on and on and on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. But going back to the whole thing about eating, what the more we get into the heavier, more obstructive foods, the more carnal we are, the more desires of the carnal life. This is what I see, and as we clean up that obstructions, most people move towards admiring and enjoying the simple things of nature and so on and so forth. People move more in that direction. Oh, I want to get a place out of the city, and they start thinking in those realms because you're being drawn back to our true nature, our divine state. Being in that wonderful place. You live in a deep city, with all that heavy energy and pollution and all the cars
It's
and
a
this
blessing.
and that.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Everything.
Challenging.
No, but it's. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's. I can clearly feel and see the difference as people start cleaning themselves out. It just over all these years, that's what's happened with people moving towards focusing on a healthier lifestyle. Always moves towards nature.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure each and every one of us here wants to live more in nature, like closer to nature than where we are now. Like,
Yeah, or just have so many trees around, like flowers, plants, or whatever, because you feel like what it brings,
yeah,
You just feel so good around them.
I know.
And it's the greatest teacher.
Exactly.
Well, actually, a lot of the time people don't look at nature. Just they come by, they take pictures, walk through. But really, like, being on the MFS journey, I've like slowed way down being in nature and been a lot more attentive to it. And she's the greatest teacher. So many ways.
Yeah.
Just hugging a tree and then like
Feels so good.
yeah, on the manifestate. I mean, like
Ugh.
yeah, simple things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to be, and another thing is, to be a little bit, less worry in our heads, less worry about, oh my God, I have to work to make money, the money thing,
Yeah.
Like it would be nice to just
To
to live in a place where you really don't have to work to eat, eating and food and shelter like is available. It's nice to have that available for us, without having to work for it. And the work is, extra, whatever, something that you really love. And if you don't, if you can't pursue it right now, it's okay, because you're always okay. It's nice to feel always okay, to feel like you don't have to push yourself. Just be. And
it's the whole legal system trap, the monetary system.
yeah,
it's
but
a
we
trap.
can get out of it.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Slowly.
It's a big trap.
Now, if you want to participate in society,
I'll be right back.
you're not. They're moving toward it. As soon as they start microchipping people, you will not be allowed to participate in any commerce. You will not be allowed to shop for food.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen though.
Well, we hope. That's their plan, though.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly their plan. Everything's implemented. Everything's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's all here. It's all
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, God is
There's
big.
a company, I think it was Wisconsin, they wanted to chip their employees, and they willingly lined up to get the implant. Make it easier for their security and everything. They willingly lined up.
This was recent, Steve?
Yes, last year.
Yeah.
I forgot what company it was.
We're pressed. Like we have to start.
Just like getting on the trains, right?
Sweden is the most cashless society.
I think China's cashless too, from what I remember.
China.
Back maybe.
China's a communist country. You can't include them.
No choice.
Yeah, from what I remember, a client told me, she said, there's no cash. When she went to visit her family, she said, no, everybody has this card, and you just, you tap it and.
There's very little cash left here. They still, by law, have to take it. But that's just, you remove cash, and that just gives them more power.
Yeah.
They remove your freedom.
It's not even true money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The true currency is plaf.
Yep.
That's the only true currency. It ain't anything physical. It's physical things are just entrapment.
Currency of the soul, because you can literally, buy people with plaf. Like, you don't buy people with plaf, but like if you treat people with really love, gratitude, and respect, they will have like a certain sense of loyalty towards you, right? If they felt loved by you, like, they will be on your side in some way, right? So it is a currency.
It's
You know what I mean?
It's not money, it's currency.
It's the most
Yeah.
Tatiana, how you doing?
And In the ocean of fluff. I'm pretty much same as last week. Do you know, can cooked tomato juice replace part of the 2 liters of grape juice required?
You can replace it. Yeah, if you want to drink that instead, it does slow things down, but it's okay.
I just wonder if it would count towards, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
the amount of liquid we want to get through our body, so the body has something to help it wash. That's it. The strongest stuff is the juices that we everything else. It just slows it way down.
Yeah, but yeah, sometimes.
Oh, it's grounding. Yeah, the tomatoes and they're kind of grounding.
It's a fruit.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Oh, wow.
It feels lighter. Sometimes the juice like feels heavy. I want to start adding different herbs. Maybe it would feel different.
Have you tried heating the juices?
A little bit, but I didn't. I'm gonna start doing more of it when I
What
get.
do they call it? Mulled wine when you add the different herbs and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mulled grape juice or whatever.
What herbs do you guys like to add to it?
Cinnamon.
Oh yes, cinnamon, right?
Clove.
And anise.
And then add a few other herbs. Not many. You could put, like I said, you could even make your tea with the juice, but just to have some different flavors. And then, as the weather's getting cooler now, it's nice to have a warm cup.
Yeah.
Feels nice.
Yeah.
I like it cold. I like it warm. It's interesting though, when you cook it, heat it up with the herbs.
Yeah.
Really nice. Try it out.
A little bit, but I think I have to.
Yeah, I use cilantro. I love cilantro.
Cilantro.
I always steep my tea with cilantro.
Oh yes, cilantro. Oh,
I love this stuff.
and it pulls the metals as well.
Steve,
It helps.
how are you doing? Day 80 something over there.
Challenging week.
Sorry?
Challenging week emotionally.
Yes.
The microphone.
Damn thing. Whatever. I said it's been a very challenging week emotionally.
Yeah. I used to sing a lot.
That's all right. Got a lot came up and released. Actually, I did a Reiki healing yesterday.
How was that?
It was different. It helped. It helped to recenter me. That was like not centered. Probably the least centered week I've had.
Yeah. You get those cycles.
Nothing physical, all emotional.
Yeah. Those are the challenging times.
What I asked for it.
Much respect.
How are you gonna deal with things? If you wanna change something, you're gonna be tested by it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's, whether we want it or not, it's going to come sooner or later.
Could have been a little slower freight train.
Yeah, well,
Is what it
remember,
is.
if we go back a year or so, you're saying, nothing.
Different level. Just a different level.
It's just a matter of time as it all come. I haven't seen anybody be able to go through with nothing coming up. That would be very interesting.
Actually, it was very difficult to go dry this week, probably because of that. Very difficult.
Yeah, it would be.
I only managed like 18 hours today. That was it.
That's all right.
Right at juice, boy, I'll tell you that. Within 10 minutes of that, taking that first sip of juice, I'm in the toilet. Oh, funny. Here's the one for you. I've got a clogged drain in my kitchen. So I'm trying to find out how far back it is. I took the trap off and everything. And I'm getting sewer gas. And it ain't much different. Not much different. Oh, I know that smell.
Wow. It's crazy. Wow.
Really deep purging now. Whole different level.
Yeah. Yeah. When you
All that surface stuff has been out since last year. All that easy.
yeah,
One,
the
two.
deep stuff really strong.
This deeper stuff is like.
It's you can't put any sense to it because it doesn't make sense.
No.
The funniest thing, honestly, about this is that it actually doesn't stop the moment you eat, right? Like it keeps on going, like depending on how long you went, right? Keeps on going for many weeks until, of course, you numb yourself out completely.
Yeah, when you've done.
I don't think I've come out of the what's the word? The obstructive state since I started. I've always been in some form of it. I think it stopped once when I went to the green juice, and it took me right. I mean, it stopped boom, almost like immediately. And so I stay. I don't touch the green juices anymore. I didn't like that.
They're very heavy when you haven't done them for a while.
You mean state when you're not like cleaning out, or
Even eating, it's still been ongoing.
that it's that you're in that. What does Gino call it? Gino call it, what's that?
The purging mode.
What mode?
The obstructive state.
The obstructive,
You know, that's why you're looking at choosing a level where you can maintain a de-obstructing state, always in that side of de-obstructing.
Yeah.
Some people may be able to maintain that, you know, maybe with a 4 or 5 days of eating, if they're eating clean and minimal.
Yeah. Well, I had days that I ate, or weeks that I ate 4 or 5 days, and it still didn't take me out of it. So it was clean eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So
if
it's
you
just
have,
that one period where I went to the green juice for what I don't even know. I was trying to slow it down. It was one of the.
yeah, you know, if you have
the middle fast last year, the middle long one. I was trying to slow it down. And that was I was in the toilet like 10, 15 times a day. And that's how much stuff was coming out. Little, that was hard to handle. Very difficult to handle, and then try and work and that kind of. If I was home, I wouldn't.
it gets painful.
That too. Yeah, the pain. That's the physical pain doesn't. Not after the first fast. That was brutal.
the stuff you went through with your kidneys, right?
Yeah. I didn't get bedridden because I didn't continue. But I was physically dumping over, trying to program a machine, and they would just come. It's like, holy shit! I mean, just physically double over. It was that sharp of a pain.
Yeah, well.
And now this fast, it's like there's no kidneys are like.
You move the stuff out.
Amazing.
Out. And they're working like they've never worked.
It's you know, when I was going through that, I didn't have the luxury of all this information.
No.
And I ended up in bed. So I was just in the unknown territory. Didn't know. Just didn't know. And it wasn't fun, but hey, it was a great blessing experience to be able to come up many years later to understand what happened back then. I didn't understand it for a long time, what happened. And nobody could find any answers anywhere. You know?
No.
So,
I gotta get into more of the breath work. I don't do a whole lot of that.
the breath work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a conscious effort. Takes a conscious effort to continue. Like sometimes I'll go through days and wait a minute. You know, just doing the controlled pauses throughout the day. You know, just
Anyway, I went through. I mentioned it before. the Rolfing, you know, the Rolfing?
Yeah.
I went through that 10 weeks. That was intense, really intense. But on the flip side of that, she opened me up so much. I can put my breath almost anywhere I want in my body after that. I mean, it just opened the whole body up.
So this was what, once a week for 10 weeks?
No, it actually covered, the first 3 were week apart. Then it went 2. You can't handle it physically. It's deep. It's really deep.
What?
Rolfing.
Oh, Rolfing.
Rolfing?
The body tightens up. The fascia in the body just gets locked up. And that's what, I mean, I was really locked up. Everything was super tight. And they just move and just open that whole thing up. It's really, really freaking intense.
In a fasting state?
What is?
And I did it in a fasting state. I did one in a dry state, and I probably would never want to do that again.
What is roughing?
Look it up.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
ROLF, I believe.
ROLFING.
It's like physical therapy, massage kind of, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not even deep tissue massage. It's way beyond that.
Well, look it
It's
up.
a very unique system.
It is.
I think it comes from Germany.
I'm not sure. Here. Dr. Ida Rolf. Actually, they're based out of Colorado. But I don't know where she was. I'll have to read it.
The original, I think it's from Germany, if I remember, but yeah.
No, actually, Columbia. She was at Columbia University. So.
There's
1916.
that was where I got the idea of massaging the gums from.
Oh yeah, she went right in. Crazy.
Yeah, this was a
Gums,
friend of mine.
not sinuses, gums, roof of the mouth. I mean, the whole inside.
She goes inside
Yeah, the massage. A friend of mine.
with gloves.
Oh, you think it's the difference before and after is incredible.
Wow.
It's incredible.
And how about the nose? How does she massage the nose?
Little finger.
Wow. Okay, I've never heard of that.
Blood finger. Love.
That's awesome.
There's a friend of mine.
Yeah, before they're ugly because my body's not really pretty, but I got before and after pictures, and the whole posture straightened up and just became more balanced. Everything.
So interesting.
Yeah, it's wild.
Beautiful.
Lots of tools available.
Yeah.
When you're in a fasting
They have an
state.
advanced one that I'm gonna participate in. I just gotta wait 3 to 6 months. You won't do it right away. It goes even deeper.
Yeah, because the body's got to adjust, and so
Yeah, exactly. This is gonna continue on for.
I can assure you, in a fasting state, it's going to adjust way more than anything else. Much quicker.
But everything, I mean, the picture, the whole, because their philosophy is everything from the pelvic floor. That's where the balance of the body comes from. And I was so, not terribly out, but you can see it. You can see it. One side's higher, but at the after pictures, everything's shifted back to balance. Same thing with just the posture, the back and everything. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But the breath is, but the opening up of the breath, the body to the breath is just like, wow. There's like it's just an expansion. It's really just an expansion. The best way I could describe it is there was just an expansion inside the body it was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, go look at your videos from 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, big change.
Yeah, but the Rolfing, I heard about it. This was probably at least 15 to 20 years ago. From a friend of mine, he sent his dad, and he was telling me about how they massaged his gums, and it made a huge difference, and so on and so forth. That's where I first heard about it from, and I started looking into it. But I never went to any treatments myself. There's just so many things that we can do to assist the body, You know, when you're
She was really good at it. She's been doing it for 40 years.
wow,
She knows what she's doing with it.
awesome, very good. Use the tools. So
Yeah,
many tools.
yesterday I did the Reiki, and that was like, that was,
No physical touching.
no.
One's very extreme physical, and one's nothing. Use them all.
There was a little hands on. She had a little hands on, not much. There's more. All energetic.
Yeah. I took the first course of Reiki many years ago. It's interesting. It's all energy. Everything's energy.
Yeah.
It's also the most powerful tool, I believe. Like when you do energy work on MFS, when I do energy work, I need to be careful, like not to overdo it actually. I mean, like, you know, like when I do like even 20 minutes of like, you know, intense concentration on some parts of the body, and like when you know, like you start feeling things and you can manipulate the energies, you have to be careful because like the emotions that can come out, I mean, they can be very, very strong. And if you're not ready, I mean, if you've been doing that and then like, you know, you feel like some days, you know, I just feel like pushing a lot, you know, it can get very rough, like emotionally, like so much coming out that you want to scream, like you have to take.
I have done that once or twice this week. Scream.
Yeah. You know, there are simple exercises I got in India. I was shown a very nice system. I was not really like, it's yoga, but it went really deeper because it gave really like, I don't know, proper signs, like things you could relate in the moment. Like, you know, like for example, soft goes with hard, but like how you can relate to that in the body, like how can you improve? And it's based, of course, on the breathing, on certain movements, on putting your conscious, your awareness on the effort, on the balance, on the weight, on the effort, and on the breathing. So these three principal things, right? And you know, like the first session I had back in India, I was, you know, pushing things because you know, I was already doing yoga, and when I did barely 1 hour, and you know, it's very gentle exercise, very gentle exercise. But when I got back to my room, I had never experienced such emotional cleansing in my life. Like, you know, I went to bed, like, you know, sweating. And I think I was going, like, dreaming very, like, these memories, like, these dreams felt like past life memories or whatever. I don't know. That's what it felt like. But that was intense. I was just rolling on, like, on 3 covers on me, like, you know, sweating all over. So many things coming up. Like at the time, I didn't know what it was. I then told the teacher the day after, who was a tantric that lived, you know, secluded in the mountains. He had reached a certain level, which he fell from. Actually, he had some powers that he shared. That he had some powers. He broke some laws. Then he was denied. Like literally he said that, and that he was close to actually suiciding. He was close to suiciding because it was kind of a full breakdown, like, you know, having, like, literally, I was always asking, you know, out of curiosity, like what kind of powers he would get and what was he dealing with. It was telling me that basically is the kind of stuff like you go out, you see the clouds, and just feeling, oh, it would be nice if it's uncovered, and you know, it covers, right? The clouds move themselves. That kind of power, right? That's what he was talking about. But you know, he felt very authentic because of the way he was teaching, you know, very like, you know, very authentic. Like, you know, it's, I don't know, it's first, like, you know, you have your doubts. I had my doubts, you know, I was doubting him, you know, it was like, oh, that doesn't feel good. But then when you like get the experience, I mean, that was full other thing when you know, like, how to deal with the breath and just do simple movements, not just do, like, you know, a series of repetition, like trying to go down, but like really like connecting with your body. I mean, you can awaken some very intense energy. You have to be careful.
I did this session right after the yoga session. I mean, it was like boom, boom. Right in the studio. There's so much energy in that room of hers.
Yeah. Because then you think, all right, physical pain is not much because you start dealing with emotional. But when you have like these energy things, energy surges, like literally you can get crazy. When it hits your head and like you don't know what's happening, and I mean, I'm glad, you know, I felt these ecstatic states and just like, you know, being able to witness your heart and witness your mind going crazy. So you can take a step back and say, all right, you know, I'm glad I was able to do that in some situations, because like literally the mind breaks. You have moments where if you're doing intense stuff, I mean, that was mainly also with the MFS, you know, I'm pushing certain exercise. You have days where the mind just breaks. There's nothing you can do. Like, you know, that was like 2 days of dry fast I'd done, I think a month and a half ago, where my mind was stuck on a sentence for like 40 minutes. But, you know, like, I'm pretty sure everybody had that, but like, you know, that kind of things that, oh man, like my mind was desperate. And what can you do, right? What can you do? Like, just, you know, it's something big that you're releasing, so just enjoy the show.
Yeah, you know, it's when people try and push themselves, they get themselves
you
in
don't
real
wanna push.
trouble. You know, especially in MFS, so many people love the feeling of the dry, and then they expand the dries. Next thing you know, they're drowning in their own filth, man. And everybody wants to go down that route. They feel they're ready. So, you know, they have no clue on what it takes to de-obstruct. No clue. Zero. Absolute
John.
zero.
Hey, what's up?
20 months to get to the 5 days.
Like Steve, you know, you're 2 years now, and go back 2 years and go back to the state of mind of the knowledge you've had compared to now. And would you ever think that where you are today, you'd still have a lot of work to do?
Oh, tremendous amount.
Even more than before.
Yeah.
No, it's not even.
Now we know that.
It's ongoing, it's exponential, and it keeps expanding.
Right.
And, you know, so much ignorance out there of people, you know, pushing this dry fast, and they get a lot of people get in trouble. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, right? We have the rest of our lives to keep evolving, and like you said, Steve, it's like there's more work than ever. The more you experience it, the more you realize how much more work. So just take,
So
you know, so you
I'll
have the
never
rest of your
finish it. I
life.
won't finish it this time.
So
You don't have to call it work, a process.
a process, yeah. So
Yeah, work is sounds like,
so yeah, so I mean, there's no reason to rush anything, right? Just go
Oh,
ahead,
it's
keep
work.
going.
Make no mistake, it's work.
it's definitely true. Yeah.
There's
You
effort.
have to put in the effort.
What does work mean? It's just movement.
Effort.
It's, you know, whatever.
Effort, absolutely, effort.
If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. John, what's been happening?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good. The thing is, it's like it's work, but sometimes not working is the hard thing, like sitting on your hands, you know? Like it's easy to work, you know, you pick up a sledgehammer and you start hammering, but like not doing anything, that's hard.
Physical work is easy to do.
Yeah, physical work is easy.
Inside work, it's not so easy.
Yeah, when you think about it, anticipate. That's not easy. You know, you're in fear, but when you do it, you just keep doing it. You don't think about it, right?
Yeah, this stuff is hard.
What's hard?
What he means, like, I think he means, like, you know, when you have to be like by yourself, like when you're not working and doing something that keeps you busy with your mind, but like you just sit there doing nothing, like, you know, like, is that what you mean, John?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's where like you get the whole thing, like, holy shit, all right, so that's it, like, you know, when you do nothing and
In AA, when we say, when you're in your own head, you're in enemy territory.
Nature.
That's funny.
Proof, man. We're our own worst enemies. We always have been, we always
Yeah.
will.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you go through your entire life. Like my sister, she just turned 60, and you know, she just said, I just don't want to live in my head anymore. You know, you spend your whole life living in your head.
Can we change it? Can we change heads?
You can change. That's the thing. You can program it the way you want it.
Exactly.
Only if you have the awareness.
It can be a very, yeah, your head can be a very dark and terrible place to be at. It can be a wonderful place.
Hmm.
And not only dark, but it can just be so mundane, like just like nothing interesting, nothing's going on. It's just mundane.
And then boom.
Enjoy the quiet, it doesn't last.
And then you get stuck on stupid little neurotic details, and you know.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
What have you guys been talking about?
Oh, a bit of everything.
The usual.
Well, actually, that kind of thing, like, you know, energy moving and, you know, emotions coming out, like,
Suicide.
Suicide?
yeah. That was the debate of the
Go
time.
back and listen, it was a really good discussion.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
No, I will. No, I'll listen tomorrow. Yeah.
We always have fun.
Yeah, it's
Everything
definitely
goes.
worth discussing ideas like that.
Oh, of course.
You know, as people sharing, going through what they're going through, you know, Steve's now 2 years, and you know, there's no amount of money that can pay for that. You know, people sharing their experiences. It's awesome, and this is why we encourage everybody to do that. And it's one of the things that a lot of people don't want to do. It's one of the things that it's part of our growth and learning to become united and remember who we are as one. When we, you know, want to be in that divided state is when we get conquered. So
Mhm.
more people, I hope, will come forth and share their experiences. You know, every once in a while, somebody pops up. Oh, I've been on it for 2 years and never heard one comment for 3 years.
Go alone.
It helps you with the focus as well. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the other way? Like, I mean, we're here to interact with each other.
Yeah, how are we going to learn, man? You
Like,
know?
how are we gonna learn if we don't share it? And
MFS wouldn't be here if I didn't share.
It's one of the-
exactly, right?
This is one of the best ways to use technology, right?
Yes. When I first met Ron, I said I was just about to start MFS, and she said, "Don't do it alone. Make a post." So I made a post. But otherwise, I wasn't in any Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use Facebook because it's a great group platform. You know, they're
It's
doing what
great
they're
tool.
doing. We're in the private side. You know, we're gonna stay focused as much as we can on master fasting. And that's really all we want to focus on, because everything else is out there. We don't need to focus on any of that stuff, right?
Been there.
You know, every once in a while, people want to throw in some nature shots. It's all wonderful. It's all part of our life and so on. And some wonderful quotes and this and that. But for the most part, you know, we want to keep that focus on that, especially now with all the censorship and stuff has been going on. It's just going crazy, cuckoo. You know, so we'll continue that as long as they allow us. And then if they don't, we will continue to go on Zoom maybe every day or something. I don't know.
There will always be a way, right?
There's
Yeah.
always a way. Like I said,
Yeah.
nobody can kill your light. Nobody can stop you. They can
there's
try, but nobody can stop you
there's
from doing what you want.
if they kill the internet, there's people working on programs that going through phones.
Oh yeah,
Through texting and stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff.
that's cool.
I remember, was it McAfee? John McAfee was working on alternative internet that would be working through people's phones. You don't need the internet. I don't know if that ever came to be, but there's so much stuff now. And Kesh is saying the new plasma computers, which are not really computers, everything's going to be obsolete that we have. There's absolutely no time space, the speed of these the plasma devices and so on and so forth. And so we're an amazing time to be alive.
We are actually, we really are.
We've all chosen this time, and we're gonna, experience some pretty dramatic changes on this planet and humanity in the next several
already.
years. Yeah, we are already. We have been for quite a while, but it's going to be even more so because
I thought anybody, the whole planet would have a mask on
like wow.
7 months ago.
I've
But,
never.
I mean, Kishe keeps a lot of his projects hidden, right? For good reason.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, like many things, that he talks, he does about, like, in his centers in Iran and Africa. Now, there's, I think, there's a big part of the teaching that, he tries, like,
Well,
he doesn't like hide, but.
Listen to the last week,
Yeah.
and I think it was last week, this past Thursday, and the week before. He's committed to going at full speed to bring out the knowledge. He did it the way he did it because humanity wasn't ready.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
humanity's not ready. So like even when I started Masterfast, people weren't ready for cooked juice. We weren't ready for it. It was crazy, the debates. I just got tired of it. And then the results started coming through, and it started fading away, those debates. And after that, I said, I'm not doing any more debates. We don't need to do it anymore.
Yes.
You don't want to do it? Go drink your raw juice.
I mean, the only thing really, the thing that made Masterfast what it is the results.
Yeah.
Not the, definitely not the science. So,
And it's just begun.
not
It's
the
just begun.
the plasma science, yes, but even that people wouldn't buy it, So it was the results.
Yeah, just give it a try.
Yeah.
Even a week is enough. Like, do it, like, even do, like, people like that have done, like, do 1 week water fast. All right, you'll feel something. Just do 1 week of master fast. Holy crap, the cooling.
When people start seeing people taking pictures of what's coming out of them, then slowly,
You don't have that, water fast. Like,
then people.
you do get healing because you're fasting, right? But
It's
you're
very
not
hard on the
doing
body,
thing
water
that
fast.
pulls, right?
Very hard.
I think water fast is hard when you're not doing everything.
You're
to
not
support
using
your
any
body.
tools. You're basically saying let the body do it all. And yeah, that's the body can do it, but because of the state of humanity today, it's so obstructed.
Exactly. We don't realize,
It's unnecessary to put the body through all that punishment. We don't need to anymore. We have the knowledge, so you don't have to.
Exactly, right?
And the most important thing is to make it a lifestyle. If
That's
it's not,
it.
If it's not, what are you gonna do with water fast?
It's another eventing type of thing.
Unless
that
you
people
want
do.
to, maybe eat 1 day a week and water fast the rest of the week. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Never did a water fast.
I read that book of iridology, like Introduction to Iridology, where he explains things, and then that was just before starting, my first try of MFS, like 3 years ago. I don't remember, but I still had like a little glimpse. I was looking at my eyes, and I was realizing, do I have that many, like that much
Doesn't matter.
No, but like, I mean, you even think like when you compare to nature and many animals, like the way they look and you know, by the time I didn't have the experience of really like understanding how much there is inside, right? But and we don't know, and that's why when we do these things like, you know, water fast or whatever, yeah, the tools are crucial. The tools are crucial.
Very, very.
Hey,
The
what
cleansing.
what were you guys? Who were you talking about before? Where when you said that the people weren't ready for him and for the information?
Oh, you plasma science, you know, the cache technology.
Oh, Keshe.
Cash.
So are you saying that every week they come out with like some kind of, do they come out with a video?
Yeah, yeah, it's called like knowledge
They have,
seeker.
yeah, there's every day, there's private, almost every, I think every day.
Is it private?
And then every Thursday he does a public.
Are you not
3
sure?
hours.
So is that on the website or is that, sorry, I just want to know where I can
It's
watch
on
that.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube?
Yeah. I'll write it to you. Like you just put that like
Yeah, could you just write it down? Sorry to interrupt. I was
no
just
worries, man. No worries. Yeah,
We have the links, I think, in the website somewhere, but
Yeah, it's something.
yeah, it's
FAQs.
so they have new videos that come out all the time.
yeah,
they,
but
they
they
do
have a lot.
live Zoom every week
Oh,
on public. Yeah,
oh, and you can join it?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's at
But again, it's like just to bring up the Buddhist sutras again, they say the same exact thing. They say that according to the time and according to the capacity of the people.
There you go.
So like the teaching is irrelevant unless the capacity of the people is ready.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting how you guys, I always think of the Buddhist text, like it's all in the Buddhist text,
There's
you
a
know.
lot of knowledge in all the
These
spiritual
ancient past texts.
gurus from the past. All of them. There's knowledge in every aspect. If you look at all the different religions and so on and so forth, there's a lot of knowledge there. You know, it's everything's been corrupted and twisted and so on and so forth because of greed or whatever. But you know, it's there. The information.
But it's like it's perfectly natural though, because if the people are not ready, then it's not the right time.
Yeah, let's
We're living in a time where the people just aren't ready.
Yeah,
It's not a big deal.
Some are.
Not a big deal.
There's more and more being ready, but right now, for example, the masks and so on and so forth, all this lockdown stuff, all the science and so on, the 7,000 plus scientists and doctors around the world, this is wrong, blah blah. Nobody's listening. They're still wearing their masks. They're still wearing their masks
Because the authorities,
they're not ready for the truth.
They're not ready to fight.
They're not ready for the truth.
They're not ready to fight.
Just look at Florida. Look at Florida. He opened up the whole state. No more restrictions, no more masks. There's no problem.
Awesome.
You know, on the Dutch government website, you know, they even put it like, you know, like these are the regulations that's what like advised, but then they put like on the line like there is evidence that show that, you know, masks are not necessary or are not even effective. Like they put it right there. And again, like, you know, here as well, like it's been a week, people are getting more and more scared. My mother went to the supermarket. She told me she could feel the fear. People like even worse than before, putting much more masks like in the supermarkets.
One
there on the web pages and
yeah, one mother shows the mask of her child saying, all full of snot, saying, this is supposed to help my child? Wearing this all day? It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous what's going on.
Well, you know what else? You know what else is really interesting about the whole thing is that, you know, whatever the reality is, and like where the thing came from, or whether it's a virus or not, or if it was made in a lab or whatever. It's like, it's interesting that the mask is definitely the most disturbing aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it covers your mouth, it covers your smile, it covers your sex. You know, your mouth is your sex.
Yeah.
And it's a muzzle. It goes around your neck. So, and you know,
Individuality.
it's so disturbing. And then, but my point is that I have a friend who says that she actually feels like she feels comforted by the mask. Like it gives her like a height, like, you know how some people like to hide, like to kind of
Yeah.
stay out of view.
Mm.
It's
Wow.
like, it actually gives
It's
her
having a
sense.
psychological negative effect on people.
It does to me, but like she was saying, she actually likes it. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is actually. It shows you that, wow, yeah.
And I don't think she's particularly paranoid or anything. I just think that like when she started wearing it, she felt like it was, I don't know, you know, like supporting her somehow.
Yeah, but I see that as a imbalance to myself with what she's saying, that gives her comfort. How can a mask give you comfort? It's a program through the belief system. So I don't understand how a mask can give anybody comfort. You know, you put in a persona, you want to hide or whatever. You know, that's not a balanced state. Not in my eyes. But hey,
Yeah.
each their own. Like for me, when I don't like going out anymore because everybody's wearing these freaking masks.
No,
It's
it's
like-
like you're finding the difference.
I know, but it's just like every time I go out, I gotta kind of push myself because I don't really want to, because it's so ridiculous being surrounded by all these people. And then you're trying to have a conversation. You can't understand anything. It's freaking muffled
I know.
behind a
Yeah.
fucking plastic screen, a mask. What the fuck you saying, man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
like-
I
like-
have to pay. Like, how do I pay? Like glass, plastic thing everywhere in the grocery store.
It's
Like,
beyond
I'm like, I'm
ridiculous.
looking, where am I
Wake
supposed
up, people.
to- Small opening, you know.
Well, it's like this. You look at like, so in certain cultures you have like, okay, so Muslim women wear the burqa, right? You have a burqa, and then some of them are really extreme. They just have the turret. They have like the turret. So then you have the burqa, and then you have like where people wear masks, you know, to, you know, they live in the desert and like the sand blowing around all the time.
Yeah, well, that's a different story.
So it's a different story. But like the psychological aspect of the burqa, like, I mean, how do women, because you get used to anything, you know?
Hmm.
So it's like,
Some of the
That's
things
suppression, of
they're
course.
born into that and raised in that
They don't know any
environment.
different.
They know no different
yeah, they don't know any different, but I'm just wondering, like,
until they're old enough to know different.
it's just kind of interesting to me.
No, it's the same, honestly, like these masks with COVID and the bird. I mean, it's the same. It's suppression of the feminine, like just suppression. Like, there's no reasoning and intelligence behind covering like that, you know, the face for that reason, because it's not the fact that you cover the face, but more like the intention behind, right? I've even used myself like a mask before COVID when I did my first two fasts, because when I would go on biking outside, I would feel the pollution so much that I had to put like this little mask I bought from Living Libations and essential oils, because I could not stand the pollution, right? So I think the intention behind is definitely like, you know,
But it's like clothing, like, you know, we wear clothes, you know, I don't know, it's like shame after.
exactly. It's like trying to cover like expression, right? Like the burqa. It's
Yeah, and like and the face and the mouth, there's something about it that's unique, like covering the mouth.
Well, we're outsiders. We really can't say what anyone says on that.
But he covers the expression because, as you said, like you cannot see if the people is really smiling. Like there's so much detail around the mouth that tells you, like,
Yeah.
subconsciously, like how you can relate with people.
Like, yeah, I can understand the covering the hair, covering, like even Christians in churches, you want to be
Yeah,
modest
yeah,
when you go to a church, right? Don't want to be wearing short skirt or,
exactly.
um,
That's
and
understandable.
showing off your like sexuality, as a woman. Or so it's similar, like it's modesty, covering, um, covering the face. Growing up in Saudi Arabia, actually, I finished high school there. So back then, it was like 24 years ago we came here. So they were more strict than now in terms of covering, especially, we go to school. Um, and then when we come out of the school, in the school it's private, you don't cover, right? But when you come out, you have to cover in public. And especially outside your school, your teachers will be actually supervising, kind of like watching you. Are you covered or are you not? And you can lose marks if you're not covered. You have to cover your hair and your face. And it's because there are so many, naughty boys outside, and they're trying to for example, waiting for their sister or whatever, our age, and they're trying to flirt, so they don't want flirting outside the school, so they tell us you have to cover, blah blah blah. Anyways, but that's not in our culture. It's really not like that,
Oh,
I
for
have,
sure not. That's extremism.
yeah, so I have aunts, my aunts, some of them cover, maybe 50% of them cover. My dad's sister or my mom's sisters, and they choose to cover, right? Meaning, even in private places, when there are men and women, they still cover their hair. And when it's just women, you don't cover, but when there's men and women, you cover your hair. It's like modesty. And then there are some of my aunts who don't cover. They choose not to cover, and then that's a spiritual choice. That's has nothing to do with the politics or the country. But yeah, covering the face, that's a little bit too much for us. My family never liked it. Nobody liked it in our family. It was too much if they have to do it. But most of the time, you don't have to do it in Saudi Arabia. It was just, like coming out of school or going into a mosque or whatever, but otherwise, no. Even mosques, you don't have to cover, I don't think. But yeah, you will find many Saudi women would cover their face. It's too much for, we are Palestinians, we're not Saudis. And it's a little bit too much for a Palestinian culture, different. Yeah.
There's also like, like in terms of crime and stuff, everybody's walking around with a mask on. That's what you use when you're going to rob a bank, It's like, so now, you have 300 million people. We're all wearing masks. It's like, I don't know. It's so weird.
It's crazy.
It's so weird.
I'm gonna go out with with an eye mask.
Yeah, like that's the other thing. Like my friend was wearing a mask and then dark Ray-Ban sunglasses. It's like you might as well just stay home,
No, but that's true.
Or rob a bank.
And we were talking like earlier on about like a bit politics about Black Lives Matter and all that when they do their protest, and then you have people that just come around with their mask and start doing, I don't know, criminal stuff like breaking things, and because they have a mask,
Yeah, you'll never know who they are.
Yeah, enslavement was never about people who don't comply. It was always about people who complied. So
The majority.
don't
What's about that? What?
enslavement in the past, how people were enslaved. It was always about the people who complied, not the people who didn't comply. The people who didn't comply are the ones that are, moving in direction for everybody's freedom. The ones who comply are the tacit consents. Keep your silence and do what they're told. and be enslaved. You have to speak up. You can't comply to this
It's a hard pill to swallow because
medical tyranny. This is what this medical and political tyranny right now. This is what this is. They can call it whatever they want. There's no medical basis or science, even in their world, of what they're doing now. That's the fucking bullshit part. Like, it's just full out. We're Luciferians. We're taking over. I don't give a shit about science anymore or anything. We're gonna just take over your lives. That's the agenda right now.
And they have succeeded to a great extent.
But the other aspect, you know, a lot of people, especially older people, you know, there's some generalizations I could make about which groups of people, but there is the idea of it's like, look, there's something going on in the world. I'm just going to play it safe. I'm just going to, I don't know if this thing actually works or not.
yeah, that's for
It
sure.
might not work, but I'm just going to play it safe
I think
and put the thing on and go about my day. You know, it's not like you always have to see it as like a sinister thing. And like, I understand, like, it definitely seems sinister, and it's so fundamentally off-putting that I understand why it seems sinister. But there is the element of, hey, you know what? I'm siding on the side of caution, on the side of caution.
I think most
John,
people,
Most people are like in that bucket.
Yeah, most people think that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah, we can
It's
say
just
that, but their science,
They want to create problems.
their science does not support any validity to this.
Nope.
And the new understanding of what we have for that virus or energy packets, it definitely is not going to work. The mask, you know, there. Who mentioned? I can't remember. Somebody mentioned on my page or something. Oh yeah, my boss was always wearing a mask, and he got COVID. Of course, because the mask is not going to protect you on an energy packet. It's not going to do it. And this whole COVID thing, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. The fear is the freaking virus, man. The fear is a virus.
Yeah.
No, but what he's saying, I mean, it's true. Like, you know, like most people, you know, fortunately, they watch TV, you know, they rely on these medias.
They're complying to the
That's what we talked about.
that's the majority, no? That's what we're seeing.
But it's not just being complicit. It's also the nature of how we get information now. Like, for example, if you go on TV or the internet or anything, and everybody's saying, okay, there's going to be huge tornadoes in Oklahoma, right? And they're going to devastate the entire state over the next 48 hours. So you could just say, well, wait, I don't have to believe that, because how can I believe that source? Oh, that source? No, that source is owned by, you know, Hearst Publishing, and this source is owned by CNN. I can't trust them, so I'm not going to abide by any of their precautions, and I'm not going to go into the storm cellar. I'm just going to live my life.
Okay.
And
yeah.
but the thing is, no one knows anything anymore, because there's so much information.
Yeah,
There's
John,
so much information that how can you sort through it?
I know that's another thing. That's fine and dandy, but okay. At the beginning, this was 2 weeks to flatten the curve, or 6 months. So what if they kept saying that, what you just said, for 6 months? That the tornadoes or hurricanes are coming in, blah, blah, blah. And they kept saying it over and over for 6 months. Something's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same.
But it's not the nature of tornadoes to hang around for 6 months. But
Well, if
however,
you're creating them, it would be.
but a plague a plague, if this is in fact some sort of plague, it could very well be that the plague is hanging around for 6 months. I don't know. I'm just saying
Very well be.
that's not even my belief, but what I'm saying is that it's very, very difficult to interpret information now. No
Yeah.
matter what information you get, you know, like somebody just said, oh, lemons are bad for your heart. It's like, what? What do you mean lemons are bad for your heart? It's like whatever you do now, you have to look at the source, and you have to look at the information and say,
There's so much.
and you're it's like every man for themselves. Like, you're alone, high and dry. You don't know.
If we
Right?
That's
look
true.
at
That's true.
if we look at the numbers of deaths, even though they're falsified, they're still within the normal flu range season.
Yeah, the whole thing, honestly, the whole thing, we have never seen anything like this in our lives. To me, it means, honestly, I'm sorry, but it means it's all fake. I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna believe it.
Well, it's
I'm
not,
not gonna believe
no
it.
people who
I know
got,
it's not a good reason
right.
not to believe it.
it's something.
But like, maybe people also
Fucked
enjoy
up
that.
body.
No, I'm not saying there's no virus.
Oh,
I believe there's a
I know people
virus.
who have it, so.
I believe there's a virus. I believe it is man-made virus to whatever cause for the agenda. I believe there's an agenda of bringing this virus and
Yeah.
killing
And it will
some,
jump into the proper terrain.
and kill some people. And then the whole vaccination, I feel this is another agenda, and that's gonna kill even more people, because it's obvious, vaccines, we have
It's where your microchips coming in.
how
The
toxic
microchips
vaccines
coming in.
are. And when somebody tells you, oh, you really have to take that vaccine because COVID is something else, I would say, you know what? You have engineered that virus. Get out of my face. I am not going to fall into this. And then to vaccinate me, I'll punch you in the face. That's simple. Yeah. Yeah. Like, first of all,
we can't be sure either.
I mean, this is how I feel. There's no way.
Engineer
I
or
believe
not.
there's a virus. I'm not saying there's no virus. Sure, there's a virus. Who gives a crap?
And you won't be allowed to participate in the economy.
Yeah, I understand that part. That's their agenda. But that's
No, but we
I
won't
don't
get
believe
there. I
that's
don't
gonna
believe it will get there.
I don't believe that's gonna happen. That's their agenda.
They're building.
I mean, the vaccine is out. The
Huh?
vaccine is out. The Russians made the vaccines. Sputnik, I don't know, Sputnik 5.
Yeah.
And they had successful tests. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of information. Do I believe like this virus was man-made? It could be as well, like, maybe also nature is...
No way whatsoever is it come from nature.
What about Ebola?
Who knows?
Ebola didn't come from nature either. The function of these labs are what they call gain of function on these viruses.
Yeah, but let's
There's
talk
no
about
way, and it's proven that what is in this virus is out of nature. It's impossible.
Watch,
I mean,
Judy Mekovich.
Yes, I think that's the name.
I mean, just what's happening, okay, about this virus makes me 100% sure this thing was engineered. The way they're handling the whole thing, it is 100% engineered. This whole thing is an agenda.
It's been planned. They have.
In my opinion, the way it's handled.
Countries have been ordering stuff about COVID since 2018, 2017.
To tell the whole world that you have to be vaccinated because of this.
I told you there'd be a pandemic during Trump's term.
Yeah, they said it.
Who stated it? Fauci stated that.
Yep.
So here's the thing. If it's all about money,
Not about money, Jeff.
it's not about money.
Power.
Well, it's about what?
But
Money,
if
power.
it's about power, then why would you shut down huge trillion-dollar economies if it's about power?
It's coming. They have an agenda. We don't know.
John, they can print as much money as they want. It's not about money. It's about power, control. depopulating the
Yeah,
planet.
but they can remove the money, they can replace the money, blah blah blah. The money is
So depopulating the planet. So like, okay, well that's something I can understand.
It's happening.
You know, like, okay, let's take out a few billion people. I can understand that, man. You know, I mean, like, what do you think the intention is?
It's written in stone in Georgia.
Yes, it is.
What do you mean?
Georgia, what do they call it?
Georgia's something stone. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually written in stone in many languages in Georgia that they want to bring down the population to 500 million.
500,000.
500,000.
Whoa.
No,
No.
500 million.
Yeah, 500 million.
But still, we got almost 8 billion.
500 million still.
That's
And we have space for 100 million actually.
almost 7 billion. You know, if you look at in the past, there
We
was
have the space for how many?
I mean, like, if we would live, like, you know, properly, I mean, I believe we have space for 50, 100 billion, like, honestly.
easy,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
easy.
Yeah, it's just that we don't
Yeah.
know how to be efficient.
You just
Georgia
have-
Guidestones.
What's it
Yeah,
called?
like if you take
Georgia
you take-
Guidestones.
Godstone?
Guide, G-U-I-D,
Guide.
Guidestones.
Read
because
about it, John.
if you take the population of the entire world and you put them in the continental United States, you would have the same per capita square miles as Germany. So people live
Wow.
so close quartered in Germany and they function perfectly fine. So you could put the entire population in the continental United States,
The whole
and there'd be enough room.
population of the planet, shoulder to shoulder, will fit in Texas.
Yes.
Oh, there we go, indeed.
Really, that seems tight. You mean literally shoulder to shoulder?
Yeah, standing beside each other.
That's interesting. Yeah, because anyway, that little statistic's been around for a while. Like it would end up like Germany,
Goes
essentially.
back to resources.
Well, the resources are different, but just
Well,
yeah,
that's what the whole agenda is about, because there's not very much left.
Yeah, read Agenda 2030, John.
Hmm?
yeah, I've seen that a little bit. I've seen it passed around.
Yeah, it's
Tells you exactly what they want to do. Exactly what they're doing.
It's all clearly written. And like over here, they're building COVID holding centers, and they're not.
Yeah,
They're not exclusive for COVID because it's not about COVID.
For mentally ill people as well.
For whatever they decide that doesn't fall in line with their agenda.
but who are these people, man?
Well, actually, you know, the guide stones are they're pretty nice, except for the first point, right?
Well, unless you're outside the 500 million.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it looks nice if you don't take into account that you need to depopulate, which, I mean, it breaks everything, right? It breaks, like, you know, they say price, truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. But at the same time, you're trying to kill a lot of people. I mean, you cannot get to love and
After we kill
violence.
so many people, let's bring
So it doesn't work.
It's only the mind of a demented madman that would even come up and think of something like this.
Yeah.
Luciferians, that's who run the planet. They're Luciferians. And whether you want to believe it or not, it don't matter because they're doing it.
Like I said,
It's not
at
about
the
money.
top of the pyramid are people who are really, who are not healthy, individuals not fit for.
Have you seen there are vlogs of anyone now, even Bill Gates makes vlogs and whatever, Warren Buffett, but I saw once that video of a Rothschild, I believe Rothschild, that was going on and shopping, And of course, what was a day in his life? And a day in his life was him just shopping around things that were a chair that was 5 million euros, a painting that was 3 million euros, talking about food. What was his preferred food? Of course, pork, and stuff like that. And then you realize, is this really the kind of people that are in power? And actually it is, but I don't think they're like really here like behind manipulating. I think like everyone in down the line is having because in the end they're not doing the dirty work, right?
No, they said that they're worth 500 trillion, and they're not the top.
No, they're not the top.
500 trillion. Never mind Jeff Bezos. This is nothing.
He's a useful idiot.
Bill Gates. These guys are not trillionaires. They can print as much as they want. They control the monetary system, the International Monetary Fund.
Flow of them.
But here's the other thing that I don't understand. If their decision to use a so-called virus, because it's so arbitrary, because you're taking out like why wouldn't you want to preserve the most sophisticated people and the most intelligent people? Like, for example, I'm just throwing this out, but like, I mean, this might be taken wrong, but like, well, let's just put it this way. You pick and choose who you want to preserve. And then like all of the dumb rednecks and the people like inbred Americans and all the stupid Americans, because like, if you think of it that way, like, yeah, I mean, they're taking out so the United States is getting hit super hard, and actually it makes sense to get rid of the United States.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't make sense, as you said. Like, for example, China is not suffering as much.
Well, they're highly motivated, intelligent people, hardworking people, and then you have like a country like the United States who are kind of moronic, and the United States is devolving. Let's face it, from what it used to be.
Yeah, I
so
think,
maybe
like it's kind of the same everywhere, honestly. I mean, you do have differences in culture, and it's true that in the East they will be more prone to, like, you have certain traditions around God, and because the cultures are more ancient, and Europe and United States is like more young cultures, but otherwise, I mean, that's where, I mean, it fails a little bit, because right now it's only happening in the Americas properly, also a little bit in Europe, but all these things that you guys are going through in the United States and Canada, I mean,
just speaking generally, like, I don't know why, if they're trying to control people or depopulate, why they would use a virus, because it just seems so arbitrary. Like, there's no control over it. You figured that they would have a more systematic approach.
John, think about this way. It's something
Okay.
that...
Sorry, after you, but yeah, very important point. Go ahead. I don't want to forget it.
It's something that they create that will never go away.
Okay. Can I say my point? I think they know that the virus is not going to kill so many people. It's the fear, isn't it?
The test is faulty.
It's the fear.
Everybody has COVID.
So it's the fear, right?
Like, think
I mean,
about
some
it.
people test negative. God knows what
That's run anyway.
Yeah, they're building centers. COVID. Businesses are running off this COVID thing. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. One virus, a whole industry has been formed in 6 months.
And why would they want to leave the smart, like the creative people? Why would they want to leave these people? Then they will take over them. They want slaves. if they want.
What do you,
If they,
what do you,
the people who put the agenda together,
You ever think they're just psychotic?
I don't think they want to. Why would they leave the intelligent, the creative people? I don't think they would do that, because if you leave the creative people, they will not allow you to have power over them.
They don't want anybody with brains. They want anybody who's going to comply.
yeah, but I think the nature of people, intelligent or unintelligent, I think the nature of people will only comply for a short period of time. Something's going to snap.
The light.
Yeah, yeah.
The light is the only thing that's going to wake people up, nothing else.
Mhm.
No amount of information and truth is going to wake people up. It's got to come through the light.
And I have to say, you know, about China, I really don't think they are much more blessed than we are. Maybe I'm not trying to say, you know.
No, for sure. I mean,
You know,
it's
I don't think they are more blessed than we are. Yeah, sure, good for them. They worked hard, this and that, but there is no God. Doesn't exist in their, like, there is. If you talk about God, it doesn't exist. You know, I think the spiritual life. I don't know how spiritual they are, but from what I feel,
I mean, you can tell it's missing, like in their whole
Yeah,
culture.
there is.
Like everything is.
No, but I wasn't saying they were blessed. I was just saying that if you have a cabal that's looking at, you know, ways of decreasing the population, that the cabal would have an interest in maintaining certain types of people. But yeah, I mean, if you say that it doesn't matter if people are productive or not, or creative or not, then yeah, I understand.
If we look at the history,
Also, if you look at the automation of everything that's coming at blazing speed, humans are becoming obsolete.
Yeah.
As far as getting things done.
But I don't think that's the issue. Like, I don't think. I think, you know, honestly, like, you know, I don't think that they have that much power, because they definitely don't have that that power.
they only have power if you give them consent. There has to be consent through your silence or through verbal, written consent. That's the way it is.
yeah, I guess, you know, I think we have to do something. We can't just sit down and say, okay, do this, okay, do that, okay, do that. You know, I think it's important that we also
The silence.
have an opinion, a say about this. If we feel something is not like balanced, if something has nothing to do with the truth, it's important that we say something about it in a peaceful way. You know, there's no violence.
With the silence tactic, the tacit consent, they get most of the population that you know is agreeing in their legal terms. It's ridiculous, but that's the system they've set up. It's entrapment.
Yeah, and how difficult is it for me to go to a grocery store with no mask? Actually, zero effort from my side. Zero effort. I just go to a grocery store without a mask. Simple. And nobody talks to you.
I'm exempt.
If somebody talks to you, I'm exempt. So we don't even know how easy it is to do what you want. To stand up for the truth. You don't even have to stand up. Just do what you believe is true, you know?
I think that's what is happening. I mean, that's what has always been happening, is that people are doing what they want. And for me, like, you know, there's no one running anything. It's just people doing what they want. What they want is just an unconscious mess. For me, that's what it is. I mean, I do get many things how it goes, but that deep control, I don't think so. For me, it's just unconscious.
I totally agree with you, Marvin. 100%.
I just heard today Walmart is hiring 10,000 people across Canada. 10,000.
Christmas.
Across camp?
Canada.
Canada.
Oh, Canada. Oh, right.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of
Why?
Pardon?
Why?
Why?
expanding
Well, they were one of the essential
Online.
businesses, right?
online. Probably going online. Their online business is not that great, or was not that great.
It's just the things that are going on is just like nothing makes any sense. Billionaires have raised their worth more than ever anybody has in the history of humanity that we know of with this commerce system.
but yet also they're in a position where they cannot enjoy that fortune anymore as much. Except, of course, a few of the billionaires that have a lot of control. But you see, I mean, everybody's getting restriction. Like there's no.
They don't have
Everybody.
restrictions. They have zero restrictions.
No,
Bill
I think they
Gates
have.
was
Like
here
you
not
have
too
you see
long
certain
ago.
countries, they have the ways they've handled the situation. Like they've closed completely. Like like the islands of like for example Indonesia. See what's happening there.
Bill Gates was here not too long ago. You think he had to do quarantine? Guys, everybody can read it however they want. The truth is all coming to the surface more and more and more. The more they restrict and push, the more the truth comes out. They know it, and they're going full force now. So everything that's happening is absolutely ludicrous and ridiculous. And people are buying it up and swallowing it up because that's what they're programmed to do. It's that simple. Virus or no virus, it's no different than a regular flu season, the deaths that are happening. But what's happened with this lockdown, there's more deaths happening because of than the frickin' virus itself, if there is a virus. Way more suicides and this and that and mental cases and all kinds of stuff that's happening now. It's just crazy what's happening. It's a mass killing spree, and the old people, oof, just
People not seeing their parents when they die.
just
in the
somebody
hospital?
posted they went to pick up their mother at the hospital, 83, with dementia, bruises from head to toe, bruises, bad bruises. They said she fell.
But
How
also,
can you buy anything into that? What the hell's going on?
you have a friend who his parent died and he couldn't see him or something, right?
Yeah,
Couldn't see him.
yeah. Like that. My friend's dad, he fell down in the middle of the night, brought him to the hospital. They wouldn't let him in. They called him when he was dead. Look, you can come and see him now. He passed away.
Yeah. Imagine they do that to our parents.
They killed him.
Yeah, no. No.
It's crazy. It's the stories. It's
No. This is wrong.
That's we gotta stand up. You gotta stand up.
This is wrong. Yeah.
It's a spiritual warfare right now.
You can't come between the families like that.
People who worship Luciferians and people who worship Creator, God, the one and only. There's no more.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's the same. When you look at it, I mean,
it's part of creation, but these people believe in their belief is demented and warped. That they can believe that they are superior than everybody else.
We are, the younger people, we can take it easier than the older people. The older people, you cannot, for example, also my nephews, for example, they have a grandmother in a nursing home, retirement home or something. And they wouldn't let them see their grandparents. They live in a different city, right? So when they go there to that city, Thanksgiving or whatever, they can't see their grandmother. They're teenagers, 2 boys. They can't see their grandmother. And I remember back in maybe April, I asked my nephew, did you see your grandmother? She's Italian, very, very sweet lady. And he says, we couldn't see her. But we were from outside, we were waving to her and she started crying because they couldn't see her. She couldn't.
This is fucked
Yeah,
up.
I mean, this is wrong. She's in her 90s, and they're teenagers.
What
you know?
the old people are going through now?
All she has in her life is her grandkids, really, to live for, and that's what's happening to her at 90 years old. 90 years old, she doesn't have so much more, to live for.
Anyway,
Yeah, so
we
stuff
can
like
go on
that.
and on and on and on.
It's just so
Everybody
wrong.
has the right to believe whatever they want.
It
The
is just so
information is
wrong.
very, very clear out there of what's happening, and people refuse to see the truth
I
for
don't
what
care
it
what
is.
the heck people have, AIDS, HIV. It doesn't mean we shouldn't see each other. This is absolutely wrong.
People are always died since the beginning of time, and they will continue to die. Viruses have always been around. They will continue to always be around.
And economies and businesses shouldn't be, stopped.
For me, like the only thing, that's why, I also raise questions, is that a lot of people that, maybe like, okay, but let's consider if it's that, that is true, like a lot of it, I don't consider it to be false, just that honestly, I don't know, and I don't think I can know. But most of the people, they will use whatever information, even this information that you guys are sharing, to avoid any responsibility still.
Yeah.
In the end, which is that's the cause of where
You're not wearing a mask. It's your fault.
yeah. No, but like even the people so like following like these kind of theories, that all right, they know, okay, this is all fake, but then they will also, like, for example, they focus then too much on the cabal, and they say, oh, it's the cabal, is this and that, this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
But then they forget that they have like their
Power.
own choices that are affecting this. And if we all made like these few little changes overnight, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So there's always like that magic pill and pointing fingers syndrome.
Exactly. It paralyzes.
We have to be careful with that. I think that's the thing that
if we focus too much on the problem, we become paralyzed. We cannot focus on the solution. We have to focus on the solution.
What's
And
the
we have
solution?
so much
Throw away
power.
your masks.
No, honestly, for me,
Everybody throw away your
I feel
freaking
like
masks.
there's almost no
Fucking
problem
freeze
for me,
diapers.
For me personally, I feel like there's no problem, but it's more for my family, and the friends, especially when this affects families. If it's just businesses, okay. I mean, businesses do affect families, but it's when it becomes, when they stop people from seeing families from seeing each other, it is just wrong.
yeah, that's the worst.
So, like, if you're doing this, you're destroying humanity. You're not just, you're going far. You're destroying families. When you start destroying families, that's it. I feel that's it.
Well, it's like what Gino said a couple minutes ago. He said, everybody has the right to believe whatever they want. You see that right there? See, that is a huge, very profound problem.
No,
Because
you can program people to believe something.
well, but it's also like, back in the day in television, like, let's just pick the 70s, right? It's like the guy comes on the TV and he says, use this laundry detergent to make your shirts white. It works great. It's the best laundry detergent. So everybody goes out and buys this laundry detergent because they believe that that's the best laundry detergent.
That's programming.
So those were like, that's programming, but those were the good old days. Now,
Where it was innocent. Yeah.
yeah, so like now it's like, it's way different than that, because you could spend a week to research what laundry detergent is the best now. And you could never come up with the proper answer, and you would never know. Or you could shop on Amazon and read every review about a product and never come to any conclusion.
You'd be
that's
more
worth it.
confused than when you
It's
started.
just any conclusion you come to is not worth a damn because it's just this huge clusterfuck of information. So if you say,
You hit it right on the head. And,
Guys, there's the truth.
this
and
is
you- and
why
you can deny it.
you know, people want to debate MFS. I'm not here to debate. Go out there and go get more
Experience.
information. Go get more confused. We're doing this. You don't want to do it? It's okay. Bye.
no, but that's different because MFS is something, it's something small and it's esoteric. That's different. Like you either understand it or you don't. But the thing
Yeah.
is that it's that what's going on.
Like there's no way of knowing properly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way of
Or
knowing.
it doesn't matter in the end.
But Steve, even then, the difference is that in the first scenario, everyone saw the same commercial, and everyone decided that's the best laundry detergent. But doesn't mean that's the best laundry detergent.
Right.
In fact, it was probably
Another laundry
chemical
detergent.
and creating more imbalances, right? Like the difference is that everyone believed the same thing, and so it made it seem like true. Yeah, that we're in an environment where everyone agrees and it is so.
Yeah, and no one really.
But
no one
look,
really.
in reality, it was not so. So here we can have these many different realities, which was always the case. That's the thing. It's also like that with fasting. Say someone really believes that they fast for a couple of days, they're gonna die. Well, they might because of the fear of that.
The 100th monkey syndrome. It's all the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see that here's the thing. So not only do you have this idea that everybody is entitled to have their belief, they can believe whatever they want and it's okay. So you have that, and then on top of that, there's no way to form a belief. So for most people, if you're not, because most people look outward to get their,
Of course.
You gotta start
to
looking.
get their worldview. So it's just like, and now with the internet and with false news,
But you
it's
see,
like,
Yeah, it's a lot of noise.
a lot of noise. But we have options. Our parents and our grandparents didn't have.
Yeah.
So we have a blessing as well. Like yes, maybe more distractions, but also more options. Before they were stuck. Like this is what they know. This is what their friends know, and like they don't have much room to grow. Here we have so much more room to grow, but at the same time we have to be smart and focused because there's so much distraction. Information is one, technology is like you have your phone beeping all the time. It's just so busy. Life is so busy. It's not simple anymore. But
Crazy times.
yeah.
how's it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a blessing. Honestly, I feel it's a blessing, but at the same time, you really, really have to be focused. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, I got it under control." No, you didn't get it under control. You have to make an effort to make it to focus. You can, it's so easy to get distracted.
More knowledge brought us to this mess. More.
But the thing is, are we evolving? Because like
Devolving.
you could say we're devolving, or you could say we're evolving.
I think there's always evolution. Right?
We're evolving in one sense as
IQ levels are going down. That's all you need to know.
as the universal energy, the field of the universe is trying to elevate us because that's the cycle of what's happening. But we as humanity, as physicality, we're devolving. We're getting sicker and sicker.
But that doesn't make sense though, because the universe has unlimited power. So
But
you
we're
could
not
go
listening. We're doing everything in the opposite of peace, balance, correct.
The majority.
And that's the problem. If we worked in line with the nature and the universe, we'd be flourishing.
And yeah, people can believe whatever they can believe, but the
But there
truth,
are laws.
truth.
Yeah.
But the truth is the truth. You cannot play with the truth. Peace, balance, and correct conduct is non-controversial.
Yeah.
It is the truth. You cannot say no. You can say in every religion teaches the same truth. You know, like it's everywhere. It's in your heart. You feel it. You feel it. You can learn a little bit about it, but you will have to feel it. And everybody has it in their hearts. Everybody knows the truth in their hearts. Are they following? That's the question, you know.
We're all learning, you know. There's limitless opinions and one truth that we must yearn to connect to. And if we don't have that, you know, we're gonna continue going down the path we're going, where there's absolutely no morals anymore. No.
I mean, there's no, if you just do your job and everything will just do your job.
What I've experienced in just last 5 years on social media, it's a lot of caca. We've met beautiful souls as yourselves, but a lot of caca that I had no idea how much caca was on the internet. Then we're not even going into the dark web. We're going in the detoxification world. So we are masters at helping people clean up that caca. Are you ready? We're going to clean it out. We're going to assist you in cleaning it out. And that's what we do.
But Gino, hey Gino, but the thing is, are those people, the caca that you're seeing on the internet, is that because you have access to it, or is that just, maybe people have always been like that?
Yeah, that's what
There have always been like that, but now you have access to it, and you're able to like see it, and it's being compiled. All that information is being compiled on the internet.
multiplied. Yeah, we're seeing, you know, much more in one
Concentrate.
stroke of a mouse.
Yeah, because it's data collection, and what it's doing is you're getting all these people who happen to be assholes, and then they're compiling it into something that's comprehensive.
Yeah,
Right.
But, you know, but people in general, I would say, Jean, people are not happy today in general. You know, people are not happy. I think lives have become so complicated. They're not simple anymore. Yeah, and not to mention the drugs and all that, the medications that once people start going these routes, you know. So the older people, usually these days, the older people are not well who are taking medications. It's really hard to, it's not like our grandparents, you know, or our great-grandparents. They were more pure. Now
Yeah,
the grandparents
sure.
are very difficult now.
Innocence, the ignorance, and the
And the parents,
simple
you know,
life.
they're more difficult than they used to be. So taking care of them is not as easy, and also the children are more busy, and they don't have the patience to take care of an older person. So the whole thing is different. I think it's just more complicated. Life is more complicated. So yeah, there's more crap inside us in general. And you know, we used to call Master. You know, I remembered we used to call Masterfast group the shittiest page on Facebook because it was full of shit, and I'm saying physical photos. You know, not so much anymore. People are not posting so much anymore on
We've
these.
seen
I mean,
it.
that's the first reaction you get like when you get into NFS, like, what is this shit?
Especially when you do the long fast. Yeah.
Well, like if you think of, okay, so you have 500,000 people are going to be, they're going to get it down to 500,000 people,
400 million.
Million.
500 million people, but maybe it's going to be, you know, maybe Jesus will come down on his cloud and then there'll be 144,000, right?
Magic number.
Maybe that's what the number's going to be.
Yeah, well.
I mean, what about the book of Revelations, man?
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
in there, we gotta go into our hearts, you know, go within and just connect and allow things to take place, because the reset is always to peace, balance, correct conduct. Whenever we put the ego, the mind to it, we're gonna end up with masks the rest of our lives.
Just remember enjoying every moment, and that's it.
Yeah, enjoy. I see the mask as a chain and ball.
Yeah, it's very disturbing.
Beyond. Like I said, I'm not comfortable just thinking about going out shopping now. You know, I'm not comfortable anymore. I'm just like, what the fuck? I gotta go put up with this.
Oh no, you have to enjoy it as well. There, it's hilarious.
Come on, enjoy it. You're
Yeah.
see what
No,
you know what's possible.
wake up.
I actually completely forget I'm the only one who doesn't have a mask when I go shopping. Maybe people, you know, look at me weird, but I don't even notice. You know.
Yeah, those rules don't apply to me, man.
Just shop. Do your thing.
I'm not a fucking slave. No fucking way. Excuse the language, but no way, man. No way.
But look, it's like this. It's like you have civic duty, right? So if you see something that's wrong, you know, it's your, in the old days, it's your civic duty to stop something that's wrong. But now, okay, so there's this idea of civic duty, but the problem is that whatever the truth is, so let's just say that masks don't work, right? The truth is that masks don't work, but the perception is that masks work. So is it your civic duty to wear a mask, or is it your civic duty to not wear a mask? It depends on the perception. So even if the perception is completely false,
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
and
the
is a
perception is
lie.
false, the belief system's false, and the truth is there's no truth to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
it's not to wear it.
but it's so complicated, because if the truth,
How can you
if there's-
support something that's a lie?
I'm not saying support, I'm just saying hypothetically, if the perception is false, if the perception is based on a lie,
Based on
it's still people still have a sense of civic duty. So how do you know where to stand?
Like one simple thing, there's many videos, people put the mask on, they take an inhale of either a cigarette or a vaporizer, have the mask on, blow. Smoke's coming out everywhere. How is that going to protect somebody else?
Maybe we should go around and do that.
Come on, man.
You know,
The
okay.
common
That's not what
sense.
I'm talking. I'm not talking about
I
that.
know, he's not
Yeah.
talking about
I know,
that.
but
You're talking about,
the
but
civil duty is to
the truth.
enlighten with people with the truth.
So if you're getting a lot of information and you're confused as a human being here, then you have to do more homework. You have to do more reading until you find something that resonates, you know, something that makes sense.
Nobody's willing to do the work.
Exactly.
No, but look, if you have, okay, so say you believe that masks don't work, and you go out into public and you publicly declare masks don't work. So you get on a soapbox like an evangelist minister, and then you say, you know, sinners repent, or you will go to hell. You will die a horrible death, and you will be sent to hell. It's the same thing if you go out there and you start preaching the idea that masks don't work and it's all a lie, and that the virus was created in a lab,
You can't push.
you're going to
people
be
the light.
perceived in a certain way.
That's
Right, you
true.
can't-
No, that's true.
You can't push people to the light.
No.
That's why it's
But that's a contradiction. If you say you can't push people to the light, then what are we
You do
talking
your
about?
job
What we're
by
doing
not
is
complying.
we're spread,
Planting
sowing
the
the
light.
seeds and watering them, and that's it.
by not complying. First, you're standing up for what you believe is true, and then you're showing people that they can do the same. That's it. That's all you really can do. In that way, you know. But then there are other things that you can do. You can get involved in a lawsuit if you believe that you can, you know, you can change this whole scenario. You know, like if you believe you can make a difference, absolutely get involved in so many different ways. You can go with a, you know, come out with a group of people and do a demonstration, a peaceful one, you know, just to
exactly according to the powers we have.
We don't, John, we were talking earlier, this is the biggest lawsuit in Canadian history against the governments and CBC News and so on. And it's not one word is ever mentioned on mainstream news. And this is a lawyer who's a very prominent lawyer in Canada, constitutional lawyer. And, you know, he's got it all laid out, with all the facts and all the legal stuff, you know, all the sciences and so on and so forth. And you don't hear anything about it. Do people want to pay attention to what he's saying, or they don't? It's the choice is always yours.
there are many people who are paying attention to him, but they're
There's
not
over
it's definitely
7,000
not the
doctors and scientists around the world came forth that this must stop. This lockdowns must stop. Mask wearing must stop. Over 7,000 have gathered, joined forces. And they're all being censored. And we can go on and on.
So
and
we
on and
support
on.
these people. You know, we have to come together and
We can
support
go
such
on,
people, you know,
but,
because they're doing a lot of the work
Right now,
for
and,
us.
right now, and always in the history, the light workers were always outnumbered. But the light cannot be extinguished no matter how much darkness there is. You got to remember that. So shine your light, you know, and that's all you can do. If they take us out, they take us out. But you know, don't lose faith in the light.
Yeah.
Well, it's like word of mouth might be, you know, it might be best just to not use the internet and to use word of mouth. It's like in Buddhism, they say it's 1,000 conversations. You have 1,000 conversations with people. So if everybody has 1,000 conversations, then you can actually get information out that way.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, social media today is one way to converse with people, but of course, person to person.
A penny doubled every day for a month is like what, a couple of million dollars. I can't remember. How many?
A lot.
Yeah, it's crazy if you just work it out. Wow, holy
Exponential.
geez. Yeah. So, yeah. We're 3 hours. Time flies when you're having fun. We can keep going and going and going. We know we're having fun, but
Well, it just makes you realize, like, it's so hard to know, like, it's just to know anything.
John, do you feel what's happening is correct?
No, I don't.
That's
I
right.
don't. But the thing is that there's so many ways you can look at it. Like you can not wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, you're like what Rana said was that you're telling people that you're doing what you believe, and you're also encouraging them to do what they believe. But you're also insulting people by not wearing a mask.
If you want to look at it
No, you
that
see
way.
that
Well, no, it's that's an element of it.
it's okay. Some people who don't want to
Insulting
see
the
the
ignorant?
truth. So it's not about belief. It's the truth. It's very different. Belief can be anything. The truth. I'm standing up for what I believe is true. The truth. Okay. Okay. And then another thing is, I'm showing them that if they want to do the same, they can, because I'm not making any effort here. And then if I'm offending anyone, you know, I'm sorry, but they haven't done enough work, in my opinion, to connect with the truth. They haven't done enough work to connect with the truth. They can tell me no. I can say, okay, well, then we have different truths, or if there's confusion about our truths, and that's fine. Then let's respect each other. I'm not offended by you. You're not offended by me. Leave me alone. Simple.
It's not simple, because some people think that if you don't wear a mask,
What's
you're putting them in jeopardy.
Right.
And it's not just something that we can just go our separate ways and we can just, you know, be,
But the thing,
okay, well, you believe what you believe. Sorry, I'm going to
No,
believe what
no.
I believe. It's not, it's more than that.
there's truth.
Not mask wearers are
There's
getting
truth.
attacked.
So if some people just want to see the media, the public media, and tell me what to do, I'll say, no, sweetheart. I have watched the public media, and I have watched the private stuff, and you know, I have watched different things, okay, different opinions, and that's my opinion about the truth. Now, what's your opinion about the truth? It's very narrow. It's okay. We don't have to argue like that, but when it comes to they're telling me this is my truth, and I tell them this is my truth, then we leave each other. You give me my space, I give you your space. Simple. That simple. But I believe the majority of people are not offended by me not wearing a mask. That's what I feel. When I go out there, nobody's angry at me. People don't give a crap about the mask. The majority don't give a crap about the mask. Even the people who work in the stores telling me I should wear a mask sometimes when I enter in a store, and I have to say I'm exempt, they don't give a crap. Okay? They don't give a crap.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Most people are smart enough to know that it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. But they're just
But like, sometimes you have to pander to people who are less fortunate, like old people. Old people are, you know, it's like sometimes you have to the best word I can think of is pander to older people. And like, they're always wrong. They're always overreacting about everything. So you just have to kind of accept that.
Well,
and like, you have to accept the lowest common denominator sometimes.
Why? Why do you have to accept it?
Well, it just depends on, like, you know, how you want to go about it. But I'm thinking about, in particular, older people.
Can I say something? Older people, in my experience so far, they are hurt the most psychologically by not seeing their kids. That's what I see, if they have kids. Older people now are more harmed psychologically than even the younger people, okay?
The young children are going to be
for not
severely
being able to see their kids. Like I said, my nephew's grandmother, okay, my nephew's grandmother, she's in her 90s. She cannot see her grandkids who live in a different city. When they come to that city to visit her, they can't hug her. She's from her window, she sees them and she cries. This is wrong. My aunt got COVID, okay? She's in Saudi Arabia. And she was, I remember, you know, messaging her, are you okay? She had fever and I don't know what. But she said, the worst thing is that nobody wants to come and see you when you're sick. And that's what made her more upset than the fever itself, okay? This whole thing is nonsense. Look at the older people. It is wrong. Your mother doesn't enjoy wearing a mask.
Doesn't enjoy, she can't wear it.
She can't wear a mask. She will not comply because she hates it. So this is how they are affected from my experience with older people. Older people, I mean, they're not worried about their health right now. Okay, they're not worried about it's nonsense.
Well, you know what I'm finding? I mean, yeah, I agree with that. What I'm finding out there is that the people who are acting the worst are like the baby boomers, the older people. They're acting terribly.
Like 50, 60.
And maybe I shouldn't generalize that badly.
I'm a baby
But
boomer.
Yeah.
what?
I'm a baby boomer.
Well, so am I. Technically, I'm a baby boomer too. But then the real old people don't seem to care. The people who are like in their 80s and 90s. And then, but it's like the people who are in their like 70. I don't know. It just seems like they act really badly.
About their health, you mean? Worried
Well,
about
no, about the whole COVID thing. They're just tripping
Yeah.
out. They're tripping out about it.
because of health or because of business or because like economy or what is it? Everything?
Just general fear about this, what's going on. You know,
I think they're lost, eh?
It's
Your friends, how are they doing? Your age?
they're all brainwashed.
I'll be glad when this is over.
Not anytime soon.
Yeah, it's only started.
Ain't going away.
God.
Guys, I have a question for each
We're
of
here
you.
for a ride.
For each one of you. Starting, okay, let's go one by one. Gino, are you happy that we got this COVID thing happening?
It's about freaking time. People.
Thank you very much. Okay.
We can
Steve.
see who's a slave and who's not.
Steve, are you happy? It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, opportunity for us.
Thank you. Marvin. Marvin is always
Yeah, I'm
happy.
having fun.
You're happy, Marvin?
Yes, I'm happy.
Okay. Tatiana.
I mean, I see the opportunity, but I don't like seeing people being suffocated in masks.
Yeah.
And separation.
Yeah. And you see the
But I see the opportunity to pause, for people to pause and get a little quieter and go a little bit within.
Absolutely. I think the same thing.
We're seeing people getting united in groups, and it's growing, and it's growing, and it's
More
growing.
than ever. More than
It's
ever.
you know, they're doing their damnedest to divide us, but the more they do that, the more people get together. In Quebec, they have UN police there now because they have the biggest protest movement in Canada.
Yeah. You said something earlier, Luigi. You know, you said like, you know, for me, like everything that's going on is just a big planetary mirror of truth, even more
Right in their face.
obvious than before. Like nothing has changed, honestly. Nothing has really changed in the
It's all
core.
coming up to the surface.
Yeah, it's just that it's more present now. Now we see what people are more about. And yeah, like John was saying, like people trying to cover their face because they're insecure or they don't feel comfortable.
If you look at what's happening with the planet went through a fast, and all the shit's coming to the surface, just like master fasting. That's what's happening.
There's a lot of nuclear plaque to clean up.
And you have some people like doing their work, like for example, yeah, you have Keishe with his plasma work around Fukushima and everywhere. So many other people. So yeah, we no one's shining light on that. Well, I mean, some of us are, but it's not enough. And at least he's there, and this group as well. You know, in some way.
Absolutely.
Oh, in a very big way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, like it's huge. I mean, I'm gonna be very loud. For myself, I mean, I'm here to scream.
Know your rights. Know your rights. Your unalienable rights. The God-given rights. And stick by that. Don't let anybody sway you any other way.
and show them the love and gratitude.
Yeah, don't consent to any of their bullshit. No matter what they try and do to you. Don't let the fear set in. It's only a physical body. If they take you out, they take you out. What are you gonna do? You wanna consent to this frickin' evil that's being done? This is evil. I don't know what other word to use. No frickin' way, man. No frickin' way. Must not condone evil in any way, shape, or
Stand for
form.
the truth. Our chance to stand for the truth.
I just see how people just, they don't give a shit.
People are tired. They were tired before COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're living a lie.
Yeah.
Well,
Change is
the
good.
thing, if nature, okay, so nature is being destroyed. So it's easy for me to think that this wasn't made in a lab and that nature gave us this disease as a warning and like a wake-up call, and as a curveball. She threw us a curveball, right? And she said, okay, see what you guys can do with this one. And so let's just say for a moment that it wasn't made in a lab, and that it's a manifestation of nature saying, look, this is done. You guys, this is over. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this disease, and you guys can have your wake-up call, or you can do what you want with it, but this is what's happening.
Everything is the way it's supposed to be. But, you know, if you look at Judy Makovich or whatever her last name, she's worked in the lab. She goes, this virus cannot be found in nature. It was definitely made in a lab, blah, blah, blah. She explains it all. There's many interviews that she's done.
You see, yeah.
So
I can see.
So
I
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was made in the lab. It's still coming. It's still coming into our environment, and if you look at things deep enough, everything's coming out of nature, including the shit that we make in the lab.
John, there's no question this was designed by God for the best for humanity, because everything is for the best for us. Okay.
But you guys are saying two things. If you say that this was designed by God and it's for the best, and then you're saying protect your rights and don't let people tell you what to do and don't be a slave, then you're saying two things.
It's the same part of the plan. I mean,
it's one plan, and God.
If it's one plan, then we have nothing to worry about at all.
Yeah,
we're just being
exactly. But people worry about it, and they getting
the light will prevail.
Everybody was happy about it.
Well, yeah, it's just like why be paranoid, or why even entertain the idea of a cabal?
No, but
it's like, because the cabal is just another it's just another instrument.
Yeah,
that God
that's
is
more like
using.
That's more like getting. But in the end, who's actually worrying? It's actually the people wearing masks and watching TV, you know, and following all this nonsense. Those are the ones that are worried, right?
Yeah, but who cares who cares if they're worrying? If it's for the best, then why are we entertaining all this paranoid stuff about the cabal?
But actually, they're the ones. I mean, well, that's of course, like if you go too far and you're really trying to know the source, maybe it's not useful to know it. But the ones that are actually entertaining this whole drama, I believe, well, it's the people following it, like, you know, really following it, like, you know, watching and doing everything and not thinking twice.
But you're right, John. You're right, John, as well. Yeah, absolutely, Marvin. And you're right, John, that yes, we shouldn't be focusing too much on the problem.
Stay aware of it.
Be aware
focus
of
on the
it. Do
solutions.
what you can. I'm not saying not to do what you can. Do what you can. Like if you can support this lawyer, for example, in Canada, who is standing up for our rights, sure, support him. Learn about the whole lawsuit and support him in every way you can as a citizen, right? Or as a whatever, as a human being.
What's his name? What's his name?
Rocco Galati.
What?
Rocco Galati.
Rocco
Yep.
Galati.
Yes.
Go on my Facebook profile. I posted a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, for sure, we can spend some time studying this and supporting each other this way. It doesn't have to be all humanity. We don't need the whole humanity to do this, but we need, I mean, it would be good, the more the better, of us supporting each other. Yeah, we don't need to entertain it too much and let it suck our energy, because we want to focus on the solution. We want to focus on our own lives, on, going inwards, right? Fasting and clean eating and all the good stuff. We don't want to be spending too much of our time and energy on focusing on the cabal and what they're doing. And you just learn the basics. Learn,
When's your next 3-day dry fast?
Yeah. Focus on your business or making a new business, being creative, just being a human being,
Well, yeah, because then there's the other idea of that if you entertain something, I mean, I don't know, it's a paradox.
Yeah,
We can keep going in circles for eternity. Let's bring it to a close.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad I saw you guys. I'll catch you later.
That's
meditation.
Yeah, good to see you.
That's awesome, John.
All
Good to
right,
see you,
thanks a
John.
lot.
John.
Take care, bro.
Good night. Nice to see you again.
Peace out.
We'll
Peace,
just do a quick prayer here, and we can keep going around and around and around.
Yeah, there's no end.
Honestly,
Like
guys,
politics.
thank you so much for always being here with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's just,
man.
being together.
What else are we gonna do? It's all lockdown. We fucking started.
It almost doesn't matter what we talk about.
It's fun.
We're in very interesting times that we've chosen to be here, and we'll continue to focus on peace, balance, and correct conduct. Let's elevate all these souls that are in a confused, ignorant state. We're not saying we have all the answers by far, but clearly the information is out there. The science in their own world is out there that supports this is all bull crap. The lawyers are out there that are supporting that this is all bull crap. It's just now time for us to be able to get that light through to people so they can start seeing and throw away these damn masks and move humanity into the next realm of peace, balance, correct conduct, because that's what's awaiting for us. And the only thing that we should be focusing on is continuously elevating all our brothers and sisters' souls and the planet and every other living being. So, we can get this movement and era to unfold and manifest itself in this wonderful place we call Mother Earth. So, especially the leaders. These puppets are in a real demented power frickin' state that nothing will get through to them except the light of their soul beaming through their physicality and awakening them. So let's elevate their souls 10 times over. So, that they may move in that direction of peace, balance, correct conduct. And amen to all that. And thanks a lot again. We've all chosen to be here. Let's enjoy it.
Exactly.
Move on.
Take care, everyone.
We'll see you on the page.
Yeah, see you around. See you next week.
Take
Care,
it easy.
blessing.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.